And the Cowboys in their silver and blue. And we're underway. Deep in the end zone from Nedney. Cowboys will not bring it out. Kevin Mathis had a little time to bring it out. Slapped the ball as maybe he thought he should. But Dallas will start from the 20-yard line, and Troy Aikman, their great veteran quarterback, will lead them out. Some changes in their offensive line. Larry Allen moves from right guard to left tackle for this season. And David LaFleur, the tight end, will be getting his first start for the Dallas Cowboys in regular season play. Emmitt Smith, Darryl Johnston, the running backs. Billy Davis also getting his first start at wide receiver, joining Michael Irvin there. And they go to the air on first down. And Michael Irvin makes the first catch of the season and a pickup of about 7. Defensively for the Arizona Cardinals, Simeon Rice, Mark Smith, Eric Swan, Jerry Drake, a third-string defensive end, gets the start. But of course, we will be seeing Andre Wadsworth, McCombs, McKinnon, Jameer Miller, the linebacking core. And in the secondary, Tom Knight and E.S. Williams, and the rookie Pat Tillman, 7th-round pick out of Arizona State, gets the start at free safety. On second down, Dallas. Emmitt Smith has the first down.
Hey, Jim, did you see what they did there, Ronnie? They brought in the rookie. They brought in the second-round draft choice, Flozell Adams, and lined him up out at tight end. See, this is Flozell Adams right out here next to Larry Allen. You talk about big bodies. Then they're going to get Emmitt Smith. The ball comes this way. Emmitt Smith cuts it back and picks up the first down.
And one of the things that you got to say about Chan Gailey, you know that offense is going to do a lot of different things, Bill.
He said we could see Adams get some action in several positions today. The number 2 pick from Michigan State. First down, Dallas at their 31. Emmitt Smith gets a couple.
You know, we talking about Emmitt Smith. We talked to him, and a running game is something that he wasn't real comfortable with. He has to rely more on his timing. And, you know, and then you get the big guys up front and Nate Newton. You know, Nate, a lot of things were put on Nate Newton as well, Ronnie. You know, they said, hey, lose weight, you have to get down. And Jerry Jones said we need more out of the offensive line. Nate Newton lost 30 pounds. He looks trim out there. They just had him pulling that time, leading up on a trap.
They've got Adams back in there. Flozell Adams, number 76. Passing down, Aikman going deep down the sideline and overthrows Billy Davis, the intended receiver, number 87. Playing in the spot occupied last year by Anthony Miller. Tom Knight, the rookie, not the rookie, but the second-year man, number 22, had the coverage.
Well, when you look at this play right here, Billy Davis is on the inside right here, as you can see, and he's trying to make a seam pattern right there, and he's taking Knight. And one of the things that they talked about is that Knight hasn't had a chance to play, so they wanted to attack him early on.
And here's the first appearance of the Arizona number 1 pick, the $42 million man, a 6-year contract for $42 million. And as Bill Mize said in the opening, off the plane and in uniform. Aikman for Irvin, and he can't hold on.
Well, they got a flag. They got a flag down on the play. And Larry Allen is one of the guys that always usually gets Eric Williams at Eric Williams role, the hands up in the face. There it comes. And that's the Eric Williams rule they put in. Everybody says that Eric Williams puts his hands up in your face.
And right here, you can see Aeneas Williams. This battle is the battle that Billy and I will be talking a lot about. Michael runs a shake move back to the corner here. And one of the things you got to have safety help. And right there, you see Lassiter being able to come up and tackle him.
There's that hand right on the face there. You know, Wadsworth had some good push. He took Eric Williams, who's a big body, and got some good push. He was right back in there on top of Aikman.
On his first play as an Arizona Cardinal, his first in pro ball, and so the Cowboys will have to punt. Toby Gowan standing at his 20-yard line. Eric Metcalf, one of the several new dangerous acquisitions by Arizona this season, waiting for it at the 20-yard line. Former San Diego Charger. Good punt, comes down at the 14, and Metcalf wants to run it. And gets it out to the 24-yard line. Tackled there by Izell Reese. And the Cardinals will have their first possession when we return. A 52-yard punt to the Dallas Cowboys, and Chan Gailey is number 4. Morning newspaper article compared him most to the first one, Tom Landry. former quarterback as a player, 10 seasons in the NFL, and most recently as the offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
A lot of Super Bowl rings for those other 3 coaches, though.
With his team 3 and out on the first series here opening this new season. Meanwhile, Plummer connects on his first pass to Frank Sanders. A gain of about 8 for the Arizona Cardinals, and Jake Plummer, his first full season beginning here in Dallas. Offensively, Plummer, who passed for 2,200 yards last year and 15 touchdowns, both rookie records for the Cards. He's got a veteran at left tackle in that very important spot protecting him. Dishman, Graham, Lester Holmes joining the team this year. Johnny McWilliams becomes the starter at tight end. And what a pair of receivers in Rob Moore and Frank Sanders. Second and less than 2. Flags are everywhere as Adrian Morrell, yet another newcomer to the Arizona lineup, carries for the first time as a Cardinal in regular season play.
Flag on the play. You had Chad Henne jump in the neutral zone there right when the ball was snapped.
Penalty is against the Dallas Cowboys. Adrian Morrell acquired in a trade from the New York Jets. 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Offsides on the defense, number 78. The enforcement brings up a first down.
Leon Lett gets the charge, number 78. And a first down, Arizona. Defensively for Dallas, they have 2 new starters on the defensive ends, Kavika Pittman and the rookie number 1 pick, Greg Ellis. The linebackers, Coakley, Strickland, and Godfrey. 2 youngsters and a veteran. And Omar Stoutmeyer won the battle for the free safety spot, previously held by Brock Marion. And a little gimmick play here. Plummer with a lot of time. Try to get it to the release man, and it's broken up. Tipped on the way, intended for Larry Centers. The release man out of the backfield.
You know, interesting, Ronnie, they came out like a West Coast offense. First play was a pass, get the quarterback some confidence. They try to run a little bit. Then the gimmick play for the try to go for a lot of yardage.
That's right, and right there they had Dion beat on that play. Frank Sanders walking back to the huddle saying, God, just throw it to me.
Leaves 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line of Arizona. Eric Metcalf makes it 3 wides. And they go straight ahead. Adrian Morrell gets about 4, tripped up by Randall Godfrey.
Well, that was a big pickup for him, getting Morrell in the offseason from the Jets. He had a 1,000-yard rusher over there for New York, and that was an area they wanted to bolster. You know, the Cards only averaged 78 yards a game rushing last year. Now, it's hard to get anything going when you only have 78 yards a game rushing. You have to establish a running game, and that's one of the things Mark Trestman, although he put in the new offense, he said we also have to have a power run game.
Fred Brock comes in, another 3-wide formation on 3rd and 5. Plummer straight back, he's got a man, and it's broken up.
There's a flag on that play. Yeah, it is.
Down. It was Kevin Smith.
Sure thing.
Reaching in on the intended receiver.
Kevin Smith has a knack for drawing flags, doesn't he, Ronnie?
Oh, man, they stay with him all day long. I mean, he's got Velcro on him.
One of the things the officials are going to be tight on this year
on their defense, number 26.
Is the hands on a receiver further than 5 yards downfield.
And that's been a problem for Kevin Smith this offseason. He's worked out really hard. He lost some weight, and it doesn't seem like it right there from that angle, but you get that back arm on the backside, and that's the problem that you have there. It's not the front arm, it's the back arm.
Rob Moore was the intended receiver. Here's a shift now by Arizona. First down. In Dallas territory, they give it to Morrell. And Morrell battles his way, breaks a tackle or 2, and picks up 6.
You know, last year the Cardinals' problem was their offensive line. And to go that far, it goes way back. I mean, with Arizona, everything's been about their offensive line. Now, you 78 sacks, you see only 78 yards rushing too. 78 was a magical number for them. And you've got to improve on that. It enters Mark Trestman. You bring in the offensive coordinator, installs this West Coast offense with a pass control offense. It sure makes that line look a heck of a lot better.
Play action. Plummer eludes the rush. Flag is down. He's got a man wide open. That is McWilliams, the tight end, inside the 5. Johnny McWilliams. Let's see where the flag is.
You know where that flag is. I was just talking about the guys. The West Coast offense makes them look a lot better, but they're going to get hit here for... Oh, no, that wasn't a holding call. Illegal chop.
Hervin McCormick was the guy who had the rush on Plummer. You saw his great footwork eluding it.
Tripping.
He's going to come back.
By the offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeats, second down.
James Dexter tabbed for tripping.
And you know what's funny about a play like that is you can see right here the great thing about this guy, Plummer, is that watch him make Joe Montana right there. That's what you like to see. And then he's looking down the football field. He picks up the receiver. That's what you want to see. But if I'm an offensive lineman, why trip, Bill?
Well, actually, it looks like a little bit of that leg lift. You know, maybe he put in the whole 49ers offense.
Yeah, you'll have to respond to that when you get time, Roddy. Let's see if there's any denials. 2nd and 13, Cardinals. At their own 49. Morrell. Good defensive play by the Dallas Cowboys that time, shutting him down for a loss. Godfrey led the charge, the linebacker, number 56.
You know, one of the new things they did for Dallas was they installed the elephant position is back in the defense. Now, the guy playing elephant is Kavika Pittman, 97. And as Ronnie, you and I were talking about, he gets way upfield. Now look at that gap underneath. They try to catch him and get that gash in the hole with Kavika Pittman all the way upfield. Just wasn't enough yards.
3rd down, nearly 15, about 14 make it. Plummer and nearly picked off, batted down by Coakley, and he nearly got it on the rebound himself, and Arizona will have to punt.
And right there, one of the things that you'll see is on this particular play, they run a blitz. You see the safety coming off the edge right there. He's trying to get the ball to Sanders, but he didn't account for the linebacker on the inside. Now, Plummer is a young guy, but that's something that he'll learn. It's hard to see where these guys are going with this new zone blitzes happening in this league, and you got to be able to find the guys.
That's exactly what it was a zone blitz, and it's the speed of Dexter Coakley that broke that play up.
Deion Sanders awaiting the punt from Scott Blair, just got it away, a high punt. Sanders will let it go. It lands at the 1 and into the end zone for a touchback. So from Dallas, 8:47 remains in the first quarter. We have no believable number for those players. That's got to take its toll over the course of the game.
I can remember playing, Ronnie. Remember with the turf and that heat, it was your feet that actually burned in the rubber soles of the thing. Did your feet always burn?
And when we walked out there today, my feet were burning.
It is plenty hot. And the action has been in the opening minutes of this football game. Emmitt Smith stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on 1st down. Dallas.
And you know, you run in the middle of the Arizona defensive line. That's the man you're going to meet right there, Derek Swan. He's playing against Everett McIver, and that hole opened up for a second, but look how quickly he closed it.
And you know, Bill, we had a chance to talk with him yesterday, and he was so excited to get Wadsworth back in.
The whole defense was, and we'll get into that later, but he said it was a business decision he made. Knowing Wadsworth was coming is why he stayed in Arizona.
2nd and 10. Aikman gets some time and has to throw it away as the protection broke down and nobody open. Swan putting the pressure on the 8-year veteran from the University of Nunn.
Well, yeah, Swan got some push in there. Mark Smith, the other defensive tackle, got some push in there. That pocket closed quick.
And really, things are going to change for him this year. Swan now is going to have a chance not to get double teamed. He's going to be able to make some plays, and he's just really excited about this upcoming year. I'm so happy for him because, like he said, hey, man, it's tough being in a situation playing here in Arizona and not having a chance to make a play.
One thing he talked about, he says, I love going 3 and out, and that's what they've done so far.
Cardinals with a dime package. Lassiter, McCluskey in, and he was hurried, had to throw that ball sooner than he wanted. Aeneas Williams with the coverage on Irvin, and once again Dallas will have to punt.
Actually, that was Aeneas Williams on the blitz. He came off the corner, and you know what, Wadsworth, they spent time with him last night going over the playbook. Now he has to watch. He knows the blitz is coming from out here, so he has to pin Eric Williams. See him pin Eric Williams, and Eric Williams can't get outside here to pick up Aeneas Williams. And
that's what I liked about Dave McGinnis. He said, we're not going to be handcuffed. We're going to run all our blitzes. He's been in many camps. He understands what's happening with this defense.
Eric Metcalf awaiting the punt. Takes it at his 31-yard line. Nowhere to go. Good coverage by the Cowboys, and it was Singor Mobley.
What Mark McGuire is close doing, and that is passing Roger Maris, Kevin's father, who's one behind with 60 home runs. That's a line drive caught by Barry Larkin. The dive, it's short to end the inning. So one at bat for McGuire. The line drive for the out. One.
Back here in Dallas with Mark McGuire lining out. Dexter Coakley put some heat on Plummer. There's a flag, however, at the line of scrimmage. And it is against the Arizona Cardinals. Vince Tobin, their third-year coach.
They're going to say ball illegally touched. I think it hit the foot of an offensive lineman when he was throwing the screen. He was trying to get the screen to centers underneath, and I think the ball hit an offensive lineman. That's an illegal touchy.
Illegal touch of a forward pass by the offense, number 67. 5 yards, still first down.
Yeah, that's it. Hit Dishman in either the foot or the back as Plummer was under pressure.
Mike Carey with the call. And it'll be 1st and 15 from the 25 for the Cardinals. No score here at Texas Stadium. 7:39 to go. Tim Ryan, Bill Moss, Ronnie Lott. And we'll keep you posted every at-bat in St. Louis with Mark McGuire.
That's a bum rap for an offensive lineman to get a penalty when it's not even your fault.
That's Morrell. Nowhere to go. The middle clog by the front of the Dallas Cowboys. Lett and Hennings. Kavika Pittman.
You know, Leon Lett has had the knee injury. It's been bothering him. Watch these guys in here. It's been bothering him most of training camp. He's playing out there with the brace. Watch him close that down. That's Leon Lett. And a lot is really put on him. I think that the rest of the defense really is going to be what happens with Leon Lett. What goes on with Lett is what's going to go happen with the rest of the defense.
Quick pass out the right side to Rob Moore, and Moore picks up close to 5.
He's hopping off. He's hopping off the field.
Close to 9, pardon me, with that 5-yard penalty. And Moore jogging off there with a bit of a limp.
Yeah, Lett's out, and on comes Antonio Anderson.
Yeah, and you talk about Lett, and we know how important he is to this defense, but playing in a game this early, the knee's not that strong. On that particular play, they like to cut pass, they like to dive out at your knees because it's a quick pass, and I think that's where he kind of came down a little gingerly on the knee.
Centers the lone setback. Metcalf in the slot on 3rd and 5. Plummer has a man. A ball is dropped by Frank Sanders. Sanders unable to hold on with a bump from the other Sanders, that guy Dion.
And on this play, you'll see right here, it's kind of like a little soft zone area, but Dion sees the play, comes up and reacts, and people talk about Dion that he won't hit. Right there, he made a blow. He took a hit, and that's what you got to do on that play.
Sanders back for the punt. Dion takes it at the 15 of Dallas. Doing the dance, he picks up 5 or 6, gets over the 25-yard line. Forced out there by Pat Tillman. And so we'll be back at Texas Stadium. 6:15 to go. First quarter, still no score.
And you know, and actually there's no excuse for a punt team to get called for holding. Usually it's the punt return team that holds, trying to hold up coverage.
This time, fair catch signaled by Sanders. Scott Player's punt taken at the 32-yard line. So a good exchange there for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got good field position here. 37-yard punt. And here's a look at the coverage. And away they go.
Prepared for this moment as any QB coming out of college. 1st and 10 for the Colts at the 20. Manning will put it in the air for the first time. Sept makes the catch. He's got room and shoved out of bounds at the 35-yard line by Sean Wooden. Manning's first pass, a connection to Falk, the combination that Colts fans hope to see a lot of down the line.
Well, it's the New Orleans combination, both of these guys from New Orleans. It's just a little swing pass. Get his confidence up. Drop it off to a great running back that had 47 receptions last year, Marshall Falk. Catches it, turns it up down the sidelines for the first down.
That might also get the butterflies out of the system. Make that first completion right off the bat. 15-yard gain at 1st and 10. Flags go down. The give is
I smell MVP. Smell that?
Yo, down here. I'm the Brooklyn Bridge. You think you could take me? You want a piece of me, huh? Let's go. You and me. Right now.
The undeniably smooth, ever luxurious ES300. The road is calling. Answer it.
I got your fancy suspension right here.
Fox NFL's
First down at their own 38-yard line. Double tight ends now. LaFleur joined by Eric Bjornsson. And on first down, Emmitt Smith is met by Mark Smith, number 93, the second-year man out of Auburn, starting right tackle this season for Arizona.
Now, if you want to run the ball, you're going to want to create matchups, okay? Now, with Larry Allen over here, you've got a big man going against Simeon Rice. Simeon Rice is only 255 pounds. Watch Larry Allen. That is an unbelievable block. Well, you don't get a good picture of it there, but believe me, he's about 10 yards downfield.
We have second down and about 7. And again, Arizona shutting down Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, look who made the play.
Number 40, the free safety rookie from Arizona State.
And everybody's been talking about this guy. I've had a chance to watch him on film. And the one thing that you can find out about this guy, he's up top here. Watch the acceleration. Watch when he decides to make a play. Now, this guy takes his bike. He rides to practice every day. He doesn't have the money to to buy a car. His Volkswagen broke down. But right there, he's moving faster than his Volkswagen.
Well, if you're wondering why he hits like a linebacker, he was a linebacker at ASU.
Lots to talk about with him. And here's a play action out of the shotgun. Aikman rolling, and it is broken up. Intended for Michael Irvin. There were 3 players converging from the secondary of Arizona.
Tillman was in there. Tillman was at the top, running down Irvin. And you know who was chasing Aikman? The other rookie, Wadsworth. That's the young guys. And I think that's the biggest upside to the Arizona Cardinals. There's a lot of young guys out there.
And right here, we talked about Aeneas Williams, but right there, Lassiter again is able to get in there and make the play, and they're getting a lot of play out of their free safety. These young guys love to fly around, and they love to make plays.
Toby Goen hits it from the 34-yard line. Metcalf waiting for it at the 10. And Metcalf gets out to the 15-yard line, so the veteran.
You guys mentioned earlier he's had problems with his knee. He sprained it during the preseason. He's having some more problems today. He is not on the field now, but he may return. Guys?
Well, they've got Mike Myers along with Antonio Anderson and Hervin McCormick joining only one of the starters, Chad Hennings, for this series at the moment. First down, Arizona. At the 15-yard line of the Cardinals, they have double tight ends in, LaFleur and, rather, McWilliams and Gedney. And this is Adrian Morrell running behind the tight ends, but it's shut down by the Cowboys. No gain.
Yeah, you gotta like Godfrey. Here's a guy that they wanted to try to move in the middle of the field, and as you can see him right here, he's playing outside linebacker here. He's playing the opposite side of the elephant position, but right now he's closing down the line of scrimmage, and he makes a great tackle. You like to see that early on, especially the first game of the season. You want to see guys tackle soundly. He did it right there.
Forward progress got them a 2-yard pickup as it turned out, and again another shift here by the Cardinals. And Plummer wanting to change it up. Clock winding down, he just gets it off. Short drop by Plummer. Sideline pass is broken up, intended for Rob Moore. And it's Kevin Smith. Slow to get up after making the defensive play.
You know, what he audible to here is he saw the defensive secondary and he saw the man-to-man outside. And, you know, that's some things you want to take advantage of. I mean, that's the West Coast offense. Try to create scenarios where you have a one-on-one.
Kevin Smith landed on that replay. As you can see, smacked his head on this hard artificial turf because he landed completely back.
You know, Gil Haskell didn't have the opportunity to have a helmet on. You know, these guys are out there making all kinds of money. They wear their helmets. They button them up. And, you know, hey, it saved them right there.
No, that saved them right there. But now, looking at this defensive unit, do you go right after Mathis? I'd have to agree that that's where they're going to have to go at this time. Look who's over there, Rob Moore.
3rd down and 8. Wheaton and Mobley are into the secondary, adding extra defenders against 3 wides that are spread out. Plummer goes to the short man, Metcalf. Metcalf dances his way, gets to about the 24-yard line. It'll be short of the 1st down.
Now, that's the thing that bothers me about the West Coast offense, is that you have a chance to get a 1st down. Let's throw the ball where they can get a 1st down. Here, he throws the ball early. Metcalf has to make 3 or 4 guys miss, and if he doesn't do that, he doesn't get the 1st down, and that's what happened right there. But the West Coast offense doesn't allow you to get 1st down sometimes.
Scott Player hits it from his 15. Hanging punt. Sanders in the sun, takes it at his 29, and he's got nowhere to go.
6 months virtually of anticipation for one game. It's almost like a playoff game, except if you lose, you still have next week.
Aikman, no score 1st quarter. Emmitt Smith stopped by Eric Swan. Swan on the tackle. We talked about Eric Swan earlier being so happy that Andre Wadsworth had signed. In fact, he, as you mentioned briefly, Billy, he planned his own signing once he knew that Wadsworth had been drafted. Then he had to wait, hoping Wadsworth would wind up being a Cardinal.
Yeah, you know, you always want to see the talent that's going to be around you. He's been fighting out there by itself. He and Eric Hill for so many years are out there fighting like a lost battle. You know, he wants to see in his 8th year, he wants to see some improvement around him.
Emmitt Smith on the pitch. He's got running room. Gets away from Tillman. Is forced out at the 45-yard line. Ronald McKinnon, the linebacker, steering him out, but it's a 1st down Dallas up to their own 45.
What happened here is Arizona got caught in a blitz. And when you get caught in a blitz with your linebackers coming inside here, okay, then you don't have the flow outside.
And right here, you'll see the safety getting tied up in the line of scrimmage, and you can't do that. Bennett was able to get somewhere in the middle of the field. Now you got Pat Tillman missing the tackle, and when you got Emmitt Smith, who we talked to this past week, talking with him, he said, Ronnie, look, I had to get used to this offense. I still have it. I'm in practice. I'm able to shake down Coakley. I'm able to do some of the things that I've always done. And now, looking at his speed, getting around the corner, and everybody's questioning that about him, he was able to get around that corner nicely.
Well, you know, a key factor in that, too, also. Did you see Larry Allen out there in front? Larry Allen's out there. Larry Allen blocked 2 or 3 people on that play. And a couple of them were little DBs. You think, well, that should be simple. You know, here's a 335, 40-pound man blocking a little DB. What's so big about that? Well, and a lot of times it's hard for a big guy like that to get with the finesse of a corner or safety.
And Tom Knight on his way to the bench here, the cornerback, first-year pick a year ago. He came into this game off a shoulder injury that kept him out most of the preseason, so he was a bit of a question mark, and it would appear the way they were holding his shoulder coming off that's what's bothering him. J.B. Brown has come in, a veteran they just acquired recently in a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Where you going, kid?
Of course, Jan Gelly knew him well. So the Cowboys have lost Kevin Smith temporarily, and Knight, the starting cornerback for Arizona, out of action. Aikman, complete. 1st down to Michael Irvin at the 44-yard line of Arizona. That's Aikman's 2nd completion in 6 attempts.
Larry Allen, I mean, he's putting on a clinic out there. Watch him here on Simeon Rice. He just takes him and just 2 or 3 yards, he just picks him up and throws him.
Yeah, you know, when you bench press 600, I guess you can throw a guy like that, can you?
600 pounds. That's phenomenal. I don't know anybody in the NFL that comes even close to that.
Rice should have tried that spin move on him the first time. It was a little late by the time he got around it. 1st down. Aikman has time. Into traffic, and it's intercepted on a deflection. McKinnon gets it to the 34-yard line of Arizona. Pat Tillman got a hand on it. There's a flag down back behind the line, and a little jawing going on between 2 of the players, Eric Swan being one, and
Eric Williams.
Number 79, Eric Williams.
Boy, they were going at it there for a second.
But the tip grabbed by McKinnon as Aikman threw that ball into triple coverage. A little unusual for the veteran quarterback. See what the assessments are here from our referee, Mike Carey.
We have personal fouls on both teams. unnecessary roughness on number 98 of Arizona, and personal foul unnecessary roughness on the Cowboys number 979, excuse me.
That's offsetting penalties, and he's excused. Did he burp in there? I didn't catch that, Tim.
Well, there's no question that it was Williams and Swan having a little set to here.
But you can see right here, Troy dropping back in the pocket, and he's looking for his tight end coming across the middle. But the kid that everybody's been talking about, the kid that is getting me excited, is Tillman. Being around the football. All I've heard about this kid, he's around the football. Bill alluded to the fact that he played linebacker in college. Right there, he was able to run with the tight end. He was able to cause a tip-up. And what did you say about this guy?
It's
when you
saw he reminds me of Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And you're talking to him, and you get that, you know, he's got that attitude about him. But you also find out after you get past all that stuff is that he wants to be good. He sits down and he picks people's brains, and he sits with Aeneas Williams after film meeting. Here he is up here. Oh, no, he's a live hitter. He's playing.
Yeah, you see him right there coming across the field, and he's able to get into the play. And, you know, it's a great safety that play for these guys by the name of Larry Wilson. And Larry Wilson is the GM. And I'm sure that Larry Wilson's got to be sitting there saying, this kid reminds me of me. He's a tough guy. He loves hitting people. He loves making plays.
Larry Wilson loves this guy for all the obvious reasons. And he put a big lick on there to spring that ball loose. And it is Morrell getting about a yard. Adrian Morrell, a former Jet, met by Randall Godfrey.
You know, when you talk about the Cowboys defense, you know, last year, of course, they finished second in the league. Pretty darn good, you know, good numbers, you'd think. But if you look at it, if you dwell into it here, Ronnie, you see, yeah, they're first against the pass, but look down there against the rush, and look here, takeaways. They didn't have any takeaways. And a minimal amount of sacks, but, you know, Dave Campos says, you know, we got to find a way to take the ball away this year.
2nd and 9 on Morrell's first down carry. Play action, Plummer. Plummer threw it away there as he had Sanders in his sights, but not a lot of room to get the ball to him. And now he is 2 of 6 in the passing department. So both Plummer and Aikman struggling a bit early here against a fair amount of pressure from both sides of the ball defensively.
Yeah, fair amount of pressure, but I also think it's the first game. I think that the nerves, I think that
jittery.
Jake Plummer right now, Bill, is just having a tough time just picking up the football field and picking up the receivers on the football field.
Metcalf in.
I think both quarterbacks have tried to make plays instead of watching them and watching them unfold.
Plummer, and that is incomplete. The ball was there, but a tough hit.
Nice play.
Rob Moore whacked by Kevin Smith, back in action after banging his head on this artificial turf. Showed no ill effects with that hit.
Yeah, and what I like about that play, Bill, was that he closed. He closed quickly on that, and he was able to run through the guy. He didn't have his hands on him. He used his feet, and that's what you have to do as a defensive back. But Kevin Smith was an All-Pro a couple of years back. It'll be nice to see him being an All-Pro again this year.
Players punt. Sanders waiting for it at the 10. Deion Sanders to the 47-yard line.
Just when you're getting lulled to sleep, just when it's going back and forth, trading punts, you knew something was going to break in the special team.
He looked like Ronaldo Nehemiah, the great hurdler here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is the high hurdles here.
One, down.
Watch how high he gets on this one.
I mean, I'm sitting here, and you got to be in awe, because this guy has done it all. He's played baseball, he's played football, he's punt return. Look for him to be on the offense eventually.
He's ready for the Olympic Games, too, in the hurdles. First down in Cardinal territory. Aikman quickly out to Darrell Johnston. And the crowds for the Moose gets about 4.
Yeah, there's Deion over there, laying down right by the fans. Getting cooled off.
That's the Miami 38-yard line. The first long one of Manning's career. Quick handoff. Marshall Faulk stopped by Darrell Gardner.
And that pass play has to give that young man a lot of confidence. He's hitting passes all over the field, but when he can drop back and hit the long ball, right there builds confidence. There's his dad, Archie Manning, right there, talking to his son, Eli, which is a great quarterback in high school, being recruited by everyone, saying, now, Eli, I know you can complete that pass also.
He's a junior. Every school in the country would love to get his hands on it. 2nd and 12. Jason Taylor has checked in for Miami.
I'm back.
A good receiver is one of them. Visa's the other.
Jerry.
Yeah. Don't tell the guys about the flowers.
Official card of the NFL and everywhere you want to be.
A man of honor.
Danny Flynn's out.
A woman of courage.
He broke my heart.
Separated by fate.
How can I ask you to wait for me?
Divided by family.
Tell me you don't love Danny Flynn.
I'm not going to lose Donnie.
From the acclaimed director of In the Name of the Father, Daniel Day-Lewis, Emily Watson.
I've lived in silence with your face for 14 years, Maggie.
The Boxer.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Over here, that's the shaded side of Texas Stadium, and that's where the Arizona Cardinals are sitting. Now, you would think the home team wouldn't be over there. Look at the home team. The home team, they're sitting over there baking in that hot sun, and it is hot down there on the field. Look, they've got cool towels on. They're by the fans. Eventually, that's going to wear on you. Now, normally, kickoff here is at what time, Ronnie? Noon.
Noon.
And the sun is on the other side, and they would be sitting in the shade.
Dallas opens the quarter in Arizona territory. Aikman with time, and that's incomplete. In and out of the hands of David LaFleur.
Yeah, and, you know, we talked to Troy this week, and when talking with him, the thing that he talked about, he says, I really don't need a second receiver. You can see LaFleur right here, and he's trying to get up the field. He's got an open spot. He's been working them, but when you see this, Jay Novacek catches the ball with his hands. Jay Novacek was the second receiver, Bill.
That's right, and what that does is if you have that threat in the middle of the field, it's going to keep your linebackers and your safeties a little bit more preoccupied with the middle and not running outside to double up on Michael.
Let's give credit to Tommy Bennett, the safety who stripped the ball away from LaFleur against the bigger man. That's right on the money, and it's Michael Irvin. First down, Dallas at the 22-yard line of Arizona.
Yeah, Michael got Aeneas Williams turned around there, and I'll tell you, Troy Aikman threw that ball, and Michael never had to break stride.
It's a beautiful throw right here. Jameer Miller coming up the middle, and Troy got rid of it, recognized the blitz, but the throw, we talked about Troy, he talked about it, and as you can see right here, he makes this throw before he comes out of the break. Michael makes the play, gets up the football field, but Troy Aikman, everybody says he's the guy that's got to make this offense go.
First down, Dallas at the 22 of Arizona. Play action, and they bring Billy Davis around the right side, and he is steered out by Tom Knight. Tom Knight back into action as Kevin Smith has gotten back into play after both going off with injuries.
Yeah, Billy Davis has been a guy who's been a part of this team, great special teams player, great friend of Michael's. Michael said, look, I'm glad we have this guy, because the guy we had last year just gave me a couple problems. He wouldn't listen to me. This guy does everything Michael Irvin tells him to do, and Michael is trying to teach this guy how to be a great receiver.
Rashad Swinger has come in, number 91 at left defensive end for Arizona. 2nd and 9, Dallas. Loose ball. Darrell Johnson, the intended ball carrier, Arizona. And the ball remains. No, it is Arizona ball. Cardinals come up with a big turnover, stopping the Dallas drive.
Well, they tried a little pitch play right here to the outside. Watch the little flip. It actually hits Moose Johnson. They're trying to flip the ball outside to Emmitt, and the ball hit Moose Johnson's shoulder as he was coming up to block for Emmitt.
Now, one of the things that Chan Gailey talked about, timing. And as you can see right there, Chan says, look, Ronnie, we've been going back and forth. 1 minute we go over here, we work on this area, then we go and we work on another area. Right there, it was an area that they're going to have to go back and work on the toss.
Ronald McKinnon, the linebacker, made the fumble recovery. This is Adrian Morrell. Nearly slipped loose, but steps out of bounds. pushed by Stoppmeyer, the safety number 24.
Now, when you look at this play right here, Adrian Morrell, they brought him in here for that reason, to make the offensive line look better. What I like about Adrian Morrell, he's able to get out, and you can see McKinnon right here, the leading tackler. And McKinnon's a guy that does a lot of great things, but you got to like Adrian Morrell because he's able to break and make people miss.
Nowhere to go on that play for Adrian Morrell. Dallas clogging up the middle. So far, the Cardinals have not been able to run effectively between the tackles against Dallas's defense.
That's really their strength in there. You know, when you bring in Chad Henning and Leon Lett, that's tough to run up in there against those guys. And the areas you want to attack as you look at it, well, what the heck? You have a rookie playing one end in Greg Ellis, and then you have Kavika Pittman at the other side, and he's kind of a lighter-sized guy.
3rd and 3, Arizona. They go straight ahead again. Larry centers this time, and he is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Looked like Pittman got in to get a hand on him, number 97, Kavika Pittman.
Greg Ellis was in there. Antonio Anderson was in there. Watch these guys play it right here. You run a little stunt. They ran a little tackle and stunt, and Antonio Anderson went outside. Kavika Pittman came underneath.
So the Cardinals will have to punt. They've been unable to get any kind of a sustained drive going. Cowboys started one after the long 44-yard punt return by Deion Sanders, but they were stopped by Arizona. They'll get the ball back here with 12:18 to go in the half. Player standing at his own 16-yard line. Deion Sanders waits for it at the 23 of Dallas. High but hanging, and Sanders has to come up to the 32 to get it. He'll be happy with that. Just takes it out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Flag.
And a flag on the play. A 37-yard punt for Scott Player, the free agent this season out of Florida State, first-year player.
Holding against Dallas.
Holding by the return team, number 89. 10-yard penalty, first down.
David LaFleur.
Tight end David LaFleur called for holding. This is McCleskey coming in on Deion Sanders. The hold happened a little upfield from that. Sanders had to run a long way to catch that short punt, but the Cowboys are backed up with a penalty.
What's that guy? You see that thing? You see what he had there? Electronic little gadget? Look at that. How about that?
Need him today. You saw earlier the temperature showing nearly 120 on the field. It is well over 100 for the fans here at Texas Stadium. Just haven't made the switch. Now they do. First down for the Cowboys, and Smith over the 25-yard line to the 26. Pickup of about 5. Tony McCombs made the tackle.
No, Chan Gailey has installed this new offense, and you know it's tough when you come in and put in a new offense. I mean, you have to have everybody on the same page, and what you're doing here is you don't have a bunch of young guys you're working with. You're actually teaching old dogs new tricks, and sometimes that's the toughest part.
And you got to teach your assistant coaches, because a lot of these guys are new. He hasn't worked with a lot of these assistant coaches, Bill.
Second down, long 5. Aikman backs up, finds an open man. That is Mills. Ernie Mills makes his first catch as a Cowboy. Acquired from the Pittsburgh Steelers, where Chan Gailey was the offensive coordinator.
And actually, as you look at this offense and you look at the transactions through the offseason, Ernie Mills is the only guy on the whole roster, including the coaches, that has any familiarity at all with Chan Gailey's offense. And they brought him in to teach Michael and everybody else around it what's expected of the receivers.
Sherman Williams is the running back, replacing Emmitt Smith. For Dallas, Aikman going deep sideline. Williams on the coverage. It's caught by Irvin. Is he inbounds? Yes.
Well, you know, I can tell you this much, Ronnie. I don't have to look. I could have said this even at the start of the second quarter. One or two of the big three in Dallas have really been impressive so far today.
Yeah, and if you look up top here on the top of the screen, that's the play right there. No, the safety's not late. When you look at a play like this, the safety's got to help out. And Pat Tillman, if he does lack anything, he lacks speed. One of the things that he has to be able to do, he's got to be able to break better on a deep ball.
On first down, Emmitt Smith, running room inside the 10. Another Dallas first down.
Another flag.
Inside the 10-yard line, but a flag down.
It's going to be holding against the Cowboys. You know, and then when Troy gets going and Michael gets going, and then now here comes Emmitt.
Yeah, and when you talk about the big three, Bill, all three of them have to contribute. All three of them have to be leaders. They were embarrassed last year, 6 and 10.
Yeah.
You sat there and when we talked to them, you could tell that every time you talked about last year, they were embarrassed.
Here's the play. Tom Knight, you can see a pretty good grip on him there as he's trying to force the man out, and apparently that's where the penalty occurred. Like Billy Davis may have been the man who should have got the flag, and it backs up the Cowboys to the 32-yard line of the Cardinals. A break for Arizona there after 2 consecutive good plays. Aikman now 7 of 14 for 100 yards, picking up his tempo. And he's got a lot of time here, and that is complete. Billy Davis inside the 20. It'll leave 2nd and 6.
You know, interesting, Ronnie, as you look at the roster, the wide receivers for the Cowboys, Michael Irving has all those catches, and 667, 8, 9, whatever. And then you look at the rest of the guys, okay? Billy Davis had 3 career receptions in the NFL coming into this game. I think that's his 4th. Pat Jeffers, with a trade from Denver, he had 3 career receptions. And then the other receiver, Jeff Ogden, a rookie free agent, he didn't have any.
Irvin with 75 a year ago, 9 in this preseason. The Cowboys went 0-5. Emmitt Smith shook off 1 tackle, but good reaction defensively to close him down after a gain of at the most 2. Ronald McKinnon and Rashad Swinger making the hit.
You know, everybody's always talked about Dallas. You know, they've always looking for the second receiver. Ronnie, you mentioned it. You know, that's it. Look at the number of receptions for these guys. And even Mills only has 11. But they've had to spend 8 draft choices and free agents trying to find somebody for Alvin Harper. And I think that number is still going to increase, like you said, if they don't get more productivity out of the tight end position, LaFleur and Jorgensen.
3 wide receivers. Sherman Williams, the running back. Quickly out for Irvin. Irvin gets down to about the 12-yard line, has a first down, Dallas.
And, you know, you look at this play, and what's the beauty of this play is Larry Allen, 73, 330 pounds, getting out to the outside. And as you can see, this big fella right here, he's so athletic, but watch him right here. He's able to not only do a great job blocking, does a great job run blocking, but watch on this screen, he gives a little fake. He's able to get out there and get his hands on the defensive back. That's impressive.
Chan Gailey said he feels a lot more comfortable going into the game knowing Larry Allen's at left tackle.
Darrell Johnston, the Moose to the 5. And one thing you guys are probably aware of as well, Eric Williams has not returned since that altercation that led to the double penalty. It's been Flozell Adams, the rookie from Michigan State, their number 2 pick, going all the way at right tackle. They got 2 enormous guys in there with Larry Allen and Flozell Adams. Not that Williams is a lightweight, but the rookie getting a lot of playing time.
This is where Dallas really struggled last year. As you see all the numbers there. And the thing about it is they got away with a couple field goals, but it's the touchdowns they didn't get once they were inside.
This is Sherman Williams. Got about a yard, met right at the 5-yard line. Aikman has hit 6 of his last 6. Jerry Drake and Ronald McKinnon closed it down this time. Drake, the 3rd stringer, who got to start at left defensive end with Wadsworth's holdout.
And they got a little blitz going there. You see Tillman trying to get up on the inside, and the hole closed really quick there.
McKinnon and Jerry Drake. You know, Jerry Drake, as we talked about at the onset of the show, the 3rd stringer, actually, who's starting there at left end because Wadsworth was out, because Brad Otis got hurt.
And here's a guy coming off a spinal cord compression injury of a year ago out of tiny Hastings College in Nebraska. A free agent since 1995. He's just kind of worked his way up. They one of those guys you can't cut. Each year he cuts
down there. You know, all 11 guys to get one timeout and they find the shade instantly. You know that heat is a factor in this game.
115, a hot plate down there. Third down, they need a yard for a first to get just inside the 3-yard line for a first down. Emmitt Smith has it, and he has. No, they have not signaled touchdown yet. Looked to me like he got over, but
it looked from here like he did.
He's got to break the plane of that goal line with the football, and the officials have not signaled that. They had both Johnston and Sualua in there to block for him, but they didn't get him in.
Two fullbacks lead the way, and Emmitt sees his shot up, and the ball doesn't break the plane. Maybe the crown of his helmet does. There's Aeneas Williams to meet him, Ronnie.
Yeah, and you got to like that because you need everybody to stop it down here.
First and goal. Aikman dives in. Touchdown. So the Cowboys, with 5:48 remaining first half, finally opened the scoring in this defensive struggle. Troy Aikman taking it in from about a foot out. Richie Cunningham to kick for the point after.
And the beauty of this, it started with the big three. Michael Irvin making the big play, Troy Aikman throwing the pass, Emmitt Smith making a couple of runs there, and then Troy taking it in for the end zone for a touchdown.
So the Dallas Cowboys break the ice here in this season opener on Labor Day weekend. A sellout crowd at Texas Stadium. It is Dallas 7, Arizona nothing. Oh, when apparently the impression was that he didn't have a great year. He had 19 touchdown passes, second best of his career. Those are the kinds of things that don't bother Troy Aikman. You just know that this is a prideful quarterback. He knows that he's got plenty left. There'd be no suggestion on his part that he would think about not coming back to play big-time championship football for the Cowboys. And he has the first score.
You know what was interesting, Timmy? 30 plays it took him to get in, but it's a play that is in everybody's offense, the quarterback sneak.
We had tremendous success 4, 5, 6 years ago. We had a nice run, 3 out of 4 years, won 3 world championships. And over the last couple of years, last year in particular, we were not playing at the level that we had become accustomed to. And we've put that behind us, though. We think that that was an aberration, and we feel that this year we're going to go out and play well and win a lot of football games and get back where we belong.
You know, there's no doubt that Troy Aikman means it when he talks like that. This is a class act, a sincere guy, a truthful guy, and they feel they've got a contending team. Well, the season will unfold ahead of them. This is just the beginning. They're up by 7, 5:42 to go first half. Jake Plummer under pressure, hangs in and nearly picked off. Miscue there as he threw it right at Deion Sanders. I think was surprised to see it coming his way with no receiver around him.
Yeah, it looks like he had a short on that a little bit. He had people up in his face. That pocket closed quick. He was looking for Rob Moore. He was looking right here at Rob Moore.
And Rob's doing a little stick route, and Rob decided to option that route to the outside, and Jake decided to throw it to the inside. That tells you that they still have a long ways to go learning this West Coast offense.
Plummer is 3 of 10 so far in this first half. Swings it out to Adrian Morrell out of the backfield. His first pass reception as a Cardinal. The former Jet gets to the 24-yard line. It'll leave 2nd and 6. Kevin Smith steered him out.
You know, if you talk about Arizona and with the West Coast offense being installed, Ronnie, you know, they got a lot of pieces in place. You know, you look at their personnel. Plummer's been exciting. They have Larry Centers, a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. They've got Adrian Morrell, 1,000-yard rusher. Rob Moore and Frank Sanders, 2 of the best receivers going, and tight end Johnny McWilliams. Everything's in place.
3rd down and 6. And whoa, what a smack. Frank Sanders leveled by the linebacker Coakley. No chance to hold on to that ball. 2 linebackers converging on him, Coakley and Godfrey, and Sanders will remember that.
Yeah, and what's happening here is I think Jake is predetermining who he wants to go to. You can't do this in the West Coast offense. You have to be patient. You got to take what the defense gives you, and he's not doing that right now.
Players punt. Comes down at the 35. Sanders on the fly. Now he's going to go wide, and a good tackle on him by McKinnon. 41-yard punt, a 6-yard return. So Sanders maybe getting a little cocky. He was going to turn back and try to take that to the wide side.
It's a jungle out there.
Guy, and perhaps that'll be the history-making night. Right now, he's 0 for 1. We'll keep him updated there, of course, from St. Louis. Straight ahead goes Emmitt Smith to the 45-yard line.
There's some pads popping out there, Ronnie.
Yeah, and then some pads popping there. But what I like, Emmitt Smith, the explosion. Now, that looked like the Emmitt Smith 2 years ago. What you saw there was Emmitt taking the proper steps, though. He talked about working with his running back coach, Sheldon, and he said Sheldon, you know, is a guy that has really set him down and taught him how to take the right steps to attack the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5. Aikman connects to the tight end LaFleur. Aikman now 10 of 17. He started out 2 of 7. So he's got it going now. Troy Aikman into the 45-yard line of Arizona. Vince Tobin in his 3rd year with Arizona. He is an excited coach with the talent that he's got this year. The additions made in the offseason, the signing of Andre Wadsworth just last night, and the play of his young quarterback, Jake Plummer. Thinks they've got a chance to make some things happen. That is Urban for a first down and spins to the 30-yard line.
You know, Ronnie, Michael Irvin's winning this matchup right now just because he's catching all the passes. But you know, we saw it on film. He looks faster to me.
Yeah, he looks faster. He said he lost some weight here. As you can see, he's driving Aeneas up the field. But the movement there, he's able to keep Aeneas off balance. And Michael said that, look, if I don't get slimmer, the Grim Reaper might get me. And the Grim Reaper might get him because if they don't do well this year, he might be on playing somewhere else.
First down, his 6th catch. He's got 99 yards, Urban, and wide open in the middle of the field. Touchdown to Ernie Mills. .30 yards for the touchdown. The first score by Ernie Mills, the former Steeler. 3rd wide receiver here with Dallas, and Aikman found them all alone deep in the middle.
Anytime you attack the middle of the field, you're normally attacking the safeties, and they got a rookie back there.
Yeah, they got a rookie back there, but both safeties on that play, they left the middle wide open. They were playing too deep.
Cunningham for the point after. And the Dallas Cowboys open a 14-0 lead. 2:49 to go in the first half.
And as you'll take a look at it right here, you can see both safeties. They got half the field. And you see Ernie Mills, and what Troy does a great job. He pump fakes right there. He sees Mills up in the middle of the field, and the safeties have to look and respect the guy going up the middle of the field. Now, that guy right there, Ernie Mills, understands the offense. He understands how to get into the middle of the field. That's what Jay Novacek would do. It's great for Troy to have somebody that it can move around and open up the middle of the field. And then Michael doing what he's done so far, Bill.
Another thing also you saw when we talk about the middle of the field when you're playing that too deep, you need depth out of your linebacker, your middle linebacker. And the way they've been hammering the middle with Emmitt Smith, Robert McKinnon did not get deep enough, because if your linebacker gets deep, now the quarterback's going to sit and hold that ball an extra second and think about trying to throw it over his head.
Going ready to kick it off, and Eric Metcalf waiting for it at the goal line. Tremendous deep kick from Goen all the way near the back of the end zone. Metcalf will not bring that one out. And so Arizona will start from the 20-yard line with 2:42 remaining in the first half. Well, next week it's a big game. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, two NFC Central rivals clash. The Buccaneers take on the Packers. And then a battle for the ages. The Cowboys' Big Three will line up against Elway and the Broncos. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings.
Tampa Bay got smacked around today up by Minnesota. And they're going to go right back up to Green Bay in the Battle of the Bays for the NFC Central matchup.
And that Green Bay, man, they look awesome today.
Plummer quickly out to Rob Moore, leading receiver last year for Arizona.
Well, there's Mark Trestman. There's a look at him. He's just talking into the mic. He's whispering into the mic. He doesn't want anyone else to hear it. He's got the card up over the mic.
Yeah, you know, Mark Trestman said that one of the best things that happened to him was when he was with the 49ers, learning this West Coast offense. It gave him a chance to really understand it, take it all in, and now he's able to give it to these young guys.
2nd down and 3. He goes to Frank Sanders. Sanders has the first down. Moving the ball out close to the 35-yard line of Arizona as we have reached 2 minutes remaining in the first half. We'll be back here at Texas Stadium after this timeout with the Cowboys on top 14-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Miller Lite, who reminds you to enjoy Miller Lite with friends.
I feel a presence. Harold, is that you? Harold? Harold?
Hurry up, we're missing the best part of the day.
Catch anything yet?
Just a brake job on a Honda.
At Pep Boys, our ASE certified technicians will install Raybestos lifetime brakes for as low as $59.99 after rebate.
Is this living or what? Shh. Engine diagnosis. Very high tech.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
My dad always said,
as soon as I get a computer, you'll come out with something better.
So to make sure people like Dad have the latest computer, we invented Yourware, technology that grows with you. For just $49.95 a month, you can buy a computer with an Intel Celeron processor, internet access, and in 2 years, you can trade it in toward the purchase of a new one.
What do you call this thing?
Yourware. Call 1-800-GATEWAY, and let's talk about Yourware.
Remember your first time hanging with the guys?
Touchdown.
An all-new Holding the Baby, tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central on Fox.
Dave Campo, defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, has to be happy. His team was number 2 in the league last year, but the season wasn't so great for the team. He feels that his team is ready to play just as well this year, and he hopes for better things from the offense. First down, Arizona. Plummer is flushed. Takes it out of bounds. He's tackled out of bounds. And they're going to fly the flag on that one for sure. That was Pittman.
Yeah.
He just lost sight of where he was, but he was about 10 yards out of bounds.
I'll tell you what he did. He had a good rush from the other side. He comes from the top here, and he has a good rush, and he's coming right into your picture right here. He's going to fly all the way across, and he gets a shot right out of bounds. And the problem is...
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, hitting the player out of bounds, number 97 of the defensive team.
He's a young guy that just ran, Ronnie, probably 65, 70 yards to try to get to the quarterback. And he said, by gosh, if I get there, I'm going to get a piece of him. But he's got to be able to know when to pull up.
No, you got to be able to know. But as you pointed out, the problem is this guy, everybody's been talking about Jake Plummer and how they're going to get to him. And like you said, you got to go after this guy. And sometimes you're going to do stuff like that, even though it might be out of character. But you got to get after this guy, and you got to get your hands on him.
First down from the 49-yard line. Center takes a hit, keeps on ticking and gets close to the first down yardage. That was Darren Woodson, the safety, who put the pop on him. This is maybe the toughest fullback in the league in terms of catching the pass and running downfield like that and taking shots. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah, they're going no huddle.
Larry centers. Wheaton and Teague join the secondary of Dallas. Knowing Arizona's going to pass, Plummer starts to run, eludes one tackler and picks up the first down. Gets down to the 36-yard line. We've got 1:21 remaining first half.
Yeah, they're going to burn one here.
Cardinals with 2 timeouts remaining. They'll take one here.
Now they have a chance to look at this situation right here, and they've worked on this all camp. And what you try to do in this situation is you want to score some points here. You don't want to walk away from this without scoring some points. But in this situation, they've worked on it, Bill. Believe me, every day in the West Coast offense, time management is very important. And you got to believe that Plummer knows exactly what he's doing in this situation.
Well, coming up in our Visa halftime report, Kevin Frazier and Ron Pitts will have scores and highlights from around the league. Plus, Joe Buck will have a report from St. Louis as Mark McGuire looks for home run number 61 today. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. Opening day around the National Football League. First down, Arizona in Dallas territory. 1:21 to go first half. They're down by 14. And Plummer blindsided. Holds onto the ball. That was Herman McCormick.
That's Cowboys ball.
The ball popped out and Dallas has it. Coakley came up with a loose ball.
Oh, watch. They're going to send everybody here. Cowboys are going to bring everybody. Here's 99. He comes from the outside, and he just keeps fighting through. And once he gets past James Dexter, that's Lomas Brown. He gets around. Lomas ducks his head, and he just keeps chugging. Now the blitz comes up the middle, and he just put his helmet right between his shoulder blades.
And that's something that the Cowboys have been trying to find, a guy that can come off the corner, somebody that can rush the passer. And McCormick making that play is something that they've been needing since Charles Haley.
Fifth-year man out of Indiana, free agent with the Cowboys since 1994. 6'5", 275-pounder, plays as a backup, made a big play there. Plummer will have a bruise. Aikman nearly gets sacked, and he escapes. Look at the room. First down to the 29-yard line.
Now, when you look at this play right here, you'll see that everybody's got their back to the ball. Troy's looking at this. He sees that he's got a safety spot in the middle. Now, the safety in the middle can't run with the receiver. He opens up the middle, and Troy, being the quarterback who he is, was able to get up there and make a smart play, protect the ball, and take off. And to me, as Billy, that was some nice running there.
You know what?
False start on the offense, number 73.
False
5
start.
yards, it remains first down.
On the first down play, Larry Allen false start, and the line of scrimmage was at the 36-yard line. They'll back it up now to the 41 of Arizona.
I can tell you what, Ronnie, so far everything I've seen from the Cowboys has really all evolved. There's Aikman, as you notice, he's in the shotgun. And he talked about the shotgun too. Looks like Larry Allen jumped out of the snap before the snap. No, Troy talked about the shotgun. He said everybody in Dallas thought I hated the shotgun, and he said he found out it was like revered down here with Roger Staubach, and he said I didn't hate the shotgun. I ran it before. I mean, he even ran it his rookie year. Everyone says this is the first time he's in shotgun. It's not. He had shotgun when he first got here in '88.
Yeah, Bill, you know what's funny about that is that he said the first time they ran it, the crowd stood up and said, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl because we're running the shotgun.
First and 15 for Aikman. Up the middle again, and that is complete.
Mills.
Once again, it's Ernie Mills.
I can tell you what, I see 3 people out there that have caught on to whatever it is Chan Gailey's teaching. Whatever this offense been implemented, Troy Aikman knows what's going on. Michael Irvin knows what's going on, and Ernie Mills.
And one of the things you'll see, Ernie Mills, like I said, he understands how to get to the middle of the field, and Troy understands how to get the ball to him. And when you're playing against these guys, especially experienced guys, you got to get those linebackers with some depth, as you pointed out earlier, Bill.
Yeah, but that was just like dime packers. They had the nickel backs up there playing nickel backer. McCluskey was up in there, Tillman, and in the middle of the field's been wide open for him.
Yeah, and Ernie Mills, you know, last year he's at Carolina. You know, you thought that he was going to go down there and be productive. He leaves there, he comes here, and we asked Chan Gailey, you know, who's been the biggest surprise? He said, you know, Ernie Mills has been the biggest surprise in camp. He's just been consistent, he's been a professional, and he's doing exactly what he's done today, holding on to the football.
And I think that's what Chan Gailey and his philosophy is all about, being consistent. Don't look for anything too great to come all of a sudden. Just keep working, go along, keep sawing wood, and things will evolve.
Aikman's hit his last 10 in a row. This time the pitch. Emmitt Smith goes out at the 10-yard line. Cowboys with one timeout left, 14 seconds on the clock.
You know, I mentioned to him that those three guys got it, and the one guy that has it, no matter where you play him, at guard or tackle, is Larry Allen. And Larry Allen pulled out there on the toss again, the big man in the heat, and he hit that DB. I thought it was thunder overhead. I felt it up here.
Yeah, I think you felt it, but I also felt the shake. I mean, Ajax can't remove that move right here. Watch this. Emmitt, boom. That's what you like out of a running back, and Emmitt still has the shake.
Aikman throwing again, fade pattern, and it is caught but out of bounds.
Billy Davis.
Billy Davis juggling the ball. It is ruled incomplete. J.B. Brown had the coverage, just joined the Cardinals last week for the last preseason game.
You know, Billy Davis is a guy that everybody says he loves to run. He says, you know, he's out there on special teams. We get him out there running routes. Michael says, I tell him to go over on the other side of the field and go as fast as you can. Take everybody with you and clear some room for me. And he goes, the guy just comes back to the other. He goes, how'd I do? He goes, great. Keep running.
Brown did a good job there. He actually knocked that ball loose, and by the time Davis got it again, he was out of bounds. Aikman from the shotgun throws it up the middle. That is Emmitt Smith, and Smith inside the 5 is pushed out at the 3-yard line by Aeneas Williams. Make it Miller there along with Williams, Jamir Miller.
That's it.
And we've run out of time here, so that was a big defensive play.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's beautiful, man, is that the big three are the big three. And as you can see right here, Emmitt Smith doing what he's doing on his play. But that's what's happened so far. The big three have been the big three.
Yeah, but the big one, Chan Gailey, I think should have taken the time out there and kicked the field goal. You're down in that situation, you want to get points.
Instead, there are zeros up, but the Cowboys have the lead at the end of the first half, 14-0. Kevin Frazier and Ron Pitts will be along with all the scores and highlights with the Visa Halftime Report.
Tuesday on the season premiere of King of the Hill.
Your dad got blown up.
One of these potential victims will die.
The suspense is killing me. Literally.
Then she's the breakout personality of the new TV season.
The guy who didn't tip me last week wants a glass of ice. You know what to do.
The series premiere of Costello. Plus, on Guinness World Records, he stands on blades and pierces his skin to lift 80 extra pounds. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Welcome back to the MBNA Visa All-Star Game. These cards are amazing, and the fans love them.
Yeah, and who wouldn't? I mean, with stats like no annual fee and a low introductory annual percentage rate. Join the team today by calling 1-800-NFL-9919 and get an officially licensed NFL team duffel bag free after the first use of your new NFL Visa card.
NFL Team Visa cards take you where the action is. Call 1-800-NFL-9919 today to receive your free NFL duffel bag.
Got a game on field advantage.
Some people choose Damon.
14-0. You got to say Dave Campbell's defense looks good. Plummer looks shaky, and that secondary with the rookie in there hurting for the Cardinals.
I'll tell you the one guy that's not striking out, Troy Aikman. He looks like he's on fire. He's throwing strikes all over the place.
He is.
And you got to say that Michael Irvin also is helping him out, because Michael Irvin came over with the big play to get it going.
And the Cowboys will kick it off to start the second half. Metcalf from the goal line, he'll bring it. And he is hauled down at about the 13-yard line.
Senor Mobley.
Billy Davis, first man down, number 87 to make the hit.
You take a look at the numbers here. Look at the passing yards and total yards for Cowboys. All Cowboys. Time of possession, first downs. I mean, they're just dominating the first half the way the Cowboys have dominated when they were the boys.
Cardinals were actually lucky that it's not 21-0 because Emmitt Smith was still a timeout left with a few seconds remaining in the first half. Stopped at the 3-yard line. This is Adrian Morrell. Morrell gets out to the 15. Coakley makes the hit. Big first half for this man. Williams, the running back.
You know, the things that he can do and he can do well is find his favorite receiver, Mike Worby. And no matter what offense they're in, they're going to know and recognize the plays that they can get together on. And then later in the second quarter, they found the middle of the field open, Ronnie.
Yeah, and what you got to like is that Troy is seeing the whole field, and everybody always said that he wanted to go to Michael, but here you can see him looking for everyone.
Plummer, sideline, caught. What a catch by Moore. Rob Moore. Down to the 44-yard line of Dallas. Kevin Smith on the coverage.
Yeah, and we talked to Jake, and we said, Jake, man, what's your favorite play? And the first thing that he said is a go route to Rob Moore, because Rob Moore has now taken his game to another level. As you can see right there, that was a difficult catch, but Rob Moore was a Pro Bowl player last year. In this offense, he has to be the Jerry Rice of the West Coast offense.
He says he likes his odds anytime he's up one-on-one with a DB.
41-yard gain. Morrell is driven back hard.
And, you know, you think about it, Ronnie, it makes sense. I mean, Rob Moore, as we were talking about earlier down the field, he's like a Herman Moore. He may even be better than Herman Moore, but that size, that imposing size, and when he gets up on a DB, he uses that size, and he'll go up after a ball. You said yourself, he can leap about as high as the goalpost. And, you know, for those reasons alone, Jake Plummer says, I see that matchup. I just want to throw it up there. Something good's going to happen.
2nd and 11. Same pass, diving catch, flag down, and what a catch by Moore with a flag down on the play. Now who pushed who? Looks like it was Moore, Kevin Smith on Moore, and let's see what the call's going to be.
Pass interference on the defense, number 86. Now penalties declined. The catch was made. First down.
Right, well, he said 86. He meant 26. Who is Kevin Smith? And that's his second interference call. 27-yard gain, a 41-yarder, then a 26-yarder to Rob Moore. And Arizona threatening here at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and on that play, the great thing about Rob Moore, he didn't give up on it. He kept fighting, and that's what you want to have in a receiver. I said to Jerry Rice, right now he's definitely trying to do that.
Morrell. Good burst by Adrian Morrell, gets him down to about the 13.
You know, when you have a power running game, you need a fullback. Now, Larry Centers, everybody thinks Larry Centers is a guy that catches passes out of the backfield. But this is what he's been working on, and this is what he's going to have to do. You get that power running game, you need the fullback leading up inside there. See him take on Chad Henning? I mean, that's movement in the line of scrimmage. That's attacking the defensive line.
2nd and 5, play action. Plummer under pressure, got the ball up, but it was good coverage. Centers it immediately.
There's a flag on the field thrown by the field judge in the back.
Flag away from the play. They had good pressure up the middle, and Plummer threw that a little sooner than he wanted to. Centers had Cowboys draped all over him.
Before the pass, holding on the defense, number 21. 5 yards, automatic. First down.
Deion Sanders called for holding.
And that was really away from the play, too. And when you see that flag come out across the field, Ronnie, that's normally what it is, unless there's 12 men on the field.
And what happens right here is it looks like it's a run play, but it's not Deion,
No,
it's
not
Kevin
Deion.
Smith.
It's Kevin Smith again.
Plummer, incomplete. Intended for Johnny McWilliams, the tight end, number 87. You saw Plummer pull his own jersey, saying that was me, that was mine. I didn't get it.
No,
there.
he was looking for the hold call. He thought Darren Woodson had a hold of Johnny McWilliams.
Aha.
Johnny McWilliams was trying to get separation off of Woodson, the strong safety, and Plummer's like, hey, he was holding him.
They're getting greedy on the holding call. They got 2 on this drive.
Yeah, they want a bunch, don't they? They can call it every play, anywhere.
They've got the ball at the 8-yard line.
Got the side judge down over there.
And one of the officials down. Didn't see that happen at the time of the play. Side judge is Doug Toole, number 4. So he'll get some assistance. And he's indicating, as you can see there, as they gave him that little shot to wake him up. Hopefully he didn't smack his head. He had that happen to Kevin Smith. Of course, he had a helmet on, a little different for these hard-working officials. So we've got obviously a little delay here while they attend to Doug Toole, the side judge.
One thing, though, he had 25 guys around him, and no one brought him a Gatorade. You know, the heat out there will get you. Bring me a Gatorade.
I thought I heard him say something about the heat, but he's hanging in. And the Cardinals have a 2nd and goal inside the 10. Flags everywhere.
Leon Lett looked like he jumped off sides. Let's see if he was drawn or not.
And when he did, Chris Dishman was making his move, so it was one of those who went first. And there you see the referee Mike Carey calling his officials over to get the call here and keep the players out of their lobbying effort.
Neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 78. 5 yards, half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
And speaking of heat exhaustion, that's what happens. Your concentration gets off a little bit.
The mind's the first thing that goes.
It goes quick. I feel it right now.
Is that what's wrong with us?
Hey, it wasn't because we couldn't play any longer. The mind just left us.
Okay, now.
2nd and goal with a penalty. They're inside the 5, just close to the 4-yard line. Trailing 14-0 early 3rd quarter. Plummer, sideline for Moore. Caught the ball. Was he in?
He's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Rob Moore feeling he was pushed out. But if the officials felt that the defender was going for the ball there, he'll not get that call, and he did not.
Well, what you want to look for is possession, and then you want to watch for the feet in bounds.
And right here, you know, I've seen Michael Jordan do the same thing. You know, you get to the point where you're trying to stop somebody, you're all over them, and they still make the jump shot on you. And right here, Rob Moore.
The 2nd foot.
2nd foot, but he is taking Kevin Smith to school right now.
3rd and goal, play action. Plummer pumps once. Now he has a man. It's too high.
And that's all Plummer. Look at Plummer. He's bent over. He knows he messed up. Frank Centers was in the back of the end zone all alone, all the way across the back line.
And that play right there, Dwight Clark and Joe Montana, it goes off the fingers here, but Plummer, you know, that's where you learn how to be a great quarterback. Decision making, having that touch, that's the kind of one you want to just lay in there like a layup. And he would love to have that
Look how
throw back.
open he is,
He's
Ronnie.
wide open.
He could have thrown that ball as soon as he turned around. He didn't see him, and when he saw him, he panicked and threw too heavy.
Joe Nedney will attempt the field goal from 22 yards out, and that is good. And 13-3, 11:39 still remains. They went 83 yards in 9 plays for the 22-yard field goal by this man, Joe Nedney. Deep men are Kevin Mathis and Jeff Ogden. That was Ogden in your picture last. And it's going to be Mathis from the 2. He's got running room. 2 and 1. 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 2 and And the kicker, Nedney, makes the tackle at the 41-yard line.
Pretty good job there by the wedge guys. Watch this thing bust open. The wedge is going to form right here, and they're going to take it up and watch it open up right in here. Watch the kick out, and there's the seam.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Nedney, and big guy.
Oh, he is a big guy.
Big guy, and I asked him. I said, "Man, do you like tackling?" And he said, "I don't mind mixing it up a little bit."
No, he was pretty aggressive on that play, and good thing he was.
So he got a stiff arm to the face.
First down at the 40. Sherman Williams, the ball carrier, gets about a yard. Well, we opened our program talking about the veteran stars of this Dallas Cowboy team having to kind of prove themselves again to perhaps a somewhat suspicious public. Were they the same? Did they have the same stuff? Not a bad start in the first half.
Yeah, you know, and you look at the big three. We talked about it earlier about playing with the heart of a champion, but I think what you see here is you see some guys now that are wearing their pride on their sleeve. They have to step up. They know that they have to be big, and if they're going to be successful, those three guys are going to have to make it happen.
Not much gain on that. Williams pulled down by Jameer Miller, the linebacker, number 95.
Jameer Miller, to me, is the best linebacker on the Arizona Cardinals team. Heck of a player. He really throws his body around all the time. He's always active. Right here, they come with a blitz. You know, a lot of times you blitz to blow up the running play. Here's Miller. Watch him come on the blitz, then scrape down the line of scrimmage and pull this thing down from behind. And that's a heck of a play by Miller.
First pick in 94 out of UCLA, playing like a first rounder there. Third down and 8 to go. From the shotgun, flag is down, early movement, deep sideline.
And another flag down.
Another flag.
Yeah.
And it looked like Wadsworth jumped at the line of scrimmage.
That's a smart play by the Cowboys all the way around. What happened was Troy Aikman got the defense on the hard count, which if that's the penalty and you don't get anything out of the play, it's only 5 yards and you still get to replay the third down. They don't give up a first down. But what happened was everybody stopped on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And J.B. Brown was down there battling, scrapping, not knowing what's going on. And then he gets a pass interference downfield against him.
Yeah, and J.B. Brown, being a veteran, you can't put yourself in his position. But if you look at this play, Wadsworth jumps offside. Now, you cannot give up. That's something that he'll learn. And if you're paying somebody $10 million plus, you better not jump off sides.
The ball spotted at the point of the interference call. Naturally, the Cowboys took that. It was Davis, the intended receiver. So it's first down at the 30 of Arizona. Aikman flush, but he gets it off to the tight end, LaFleur. He bounces off a tackler. The ball is loose. Cardinals have it out of bounds. It's their ball.
Cowboys
How
ball.
do they rule it down?
Cowboys ball at the spot of where it goes out of bounds. Cardinals never had possession of it.
Nobody got a good hold of that one before it went out of bounds.
Yeah, and you can see on this play right here, Troy's looking, he's trying to find somebody. He's doing an excellent job. He sees LaFleur. Now, LaFleur does a great job, but you got to protect the ball. You got to put it in the other hand. Right here, Aeneas knocked the ball back inside. Just knock the ball back inside. Don't go for it. Knock it back inside so somebody else can make the play.
No, they didn't know. Didn't have possession in bounds because you saw Tillman there. Tillman's legs were out of bounds. It looked like the ball never really rolled out, but Tillman was out of bounds as he recovered.
Break for the Cowboys there, leaves them second down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, now the ball didn't go out of bounds, but Aeneas Williams' body was out of bounds while he was touching the ball.
And Tillman as well.
They fake the reverse to Davis. They come back with a screen the other way. Emmitt Smith. Pretty well covered. Tommy Bennett stayed at home, number 28, to make the stop.
Yeah, you got Tommy Bennett here. What they talked about with him, Aeneas Williams said, Ronnie, look, this guy is a quiet guy. He's a smart guy. We like his hustle. We like his leadership. I had a chance to meet him before the game. And the one thing that he said to me, he says, Ronnie, look, I'm going to make sure that our guys are sound and that we don't give up any big plays. Well, right now, he didn't give up a big play on that play, but he's got to get all the rest of the guys not to give up any.
3rd and 9. Aikman rifles that one in for the first down to Ernie Mills. So the new acquisition at the wide receiver spot's been a big factor in this game.
That's a 4 wide receiver set. Now you look at the Cowboys' depth at wide receiver. They struggle putting 4 wide receivers on the field. And what they have to do is they actually line Bjornsson out here. This is Bjornsson, and then here's Mills. And watch Mills break it inside on the slant.
And Ernie Mills, being the KG veteran, he was able to stretch that zone a little bit. He knew that Bjornsson was inside and caught that slant pattern.
Cowboys first down inside the 20. Smith with a lot of running room picks his way down inside the 5.
Now I saw some, Bill, I saw some awesome blocking there. Yeah. I saw some guys getting.
You saw the same thing I saw.
Did you see this? Hey, did you see that?
Watch Larry Allen. Watch this. Watch. This is incredible. He takes the linebacker, McKinnon, and just pushes him down to the ground. And now that's look at the whole corner.
Now look at Moose.
Downfield, there's Moose Johnson.
And then look at Moose. Moose is out on the outside as a wide receiver. And look, I got to find somebody. I got to get on somebody. I got to stay with them.
Emmitt Smith tripped up from behind. Loose ball. And whistle dead. Simeon Rice making the stop.
Now, we get here today, and
what kind of threat?
You know what? We get here today, and we get here early, and what are they handing out? They're handing out beanie babies.
Moose beanie babies.
Moose beanie babies, and now the Moose is lined up outside, Bill.
What kind of threat is Moose at wide receiver? And the reason we had to get here early is because Tim Ryan, our partner, he had to get one of those beanie babies. He said, come on, guys, come on. The crowd's going to beat us here. We got to get some beanie babies.
And they stood on line in the heat, too.
Nobody's there.
Aikman rolling, and he's going to get in. Touchdown.
There's a flag. There's a flag downfield. That's going to be against Dallas, I believe. Sometimes what happens is when your quarterback starts scrambling, everybody, the receivers, will turn and start to block.
Well,
hold it. On the defense, penalties decline.
Yeah, they turn them and they block, but on that time, the tight end who was trying to get out to the outside, he was being grabbed and held onto. So, yeah, they turned the block, but on that particular case right there, whoever the linebacker was on that play did a poor job. You cannot hold on to the receiver. You got to play with your hands open, and the referees are they're gonna see that. You pull jersey, they call a flag.
Well, you saw some creative stuff from coming out of halftime from the Dallas Cowboys, mixing it up all different ways. They march down the field for a touchdown.
Richie Cunningham for the point after. And so the Dallas Cowboys go on top 21-3. 59 yards in 8 plays, taking 4:30 off the clock. We'll be back at Texas Stadium in a moment.
Why is our company tagline a question?
I actually just started on Monday, so I really don't know.
Well, you can't make software better until you know what people want to do with it.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
What are kids really doing with technology, and why is it helping them learn?
And we've noticed you tend to do some pretty amazing things.
How can I make a computer easier for you to use?
Email's going to be like the telephone. You pick it up, you call somebody, you don't think twice.
Things we never would have imagined.
What if your computer could recognize your face?
In fact, we do our best work trying to keep up with your imagination.
I design software for people like my dad, my mother, my neighbors.
What gets you up in the morning? What are you passionate about?
It has to be for kids, for all different types of people to use it.
What if a computer could talk to you?
What if your computer turned on like a lamp?
So our tagline? In part, it's an invitation to you. In part, it's a question because we really need to know the answer. So we'll ask it again. Where do you want to go today?
The other day, Karen had to hurry to a surprise birthday party.
Honey, the doctor's on her way. Almost there.
So Karen didn't need any surprises from her car.
Just breathe. We need you to breathe easy.
Ford Taurus has millions of real-life miles behind it, and a reliable door tech engine in it.
The doctor's here. The doctor's here.
I hear someone's in a hurry.
And I know 2 people. Make that 3 people. We were sure glad that she bought this car. Ford Taurus. It's built to last.
On King of the Hill season premiere, who's gonna die?
Will there be food at the funeral?
The season's biggest secret will be revealed. Fox Tuesday at 8, 7 Central.
Back at Texas Stadium, the temperature has dipped below 100 degrees now. There are ever 2 teams who are equipped to handle this heat. It would be the warm weather Cardinals and Cowboys. No heat-related problems right now, but guys, as we said, a cool front going. We're under 100 here on the field. Back to you.
Mike Ducey says the warm weather guys. I mean, that's really putting it mildly. These guys this summer in training camp have been routinely working high 90s over 100.
And you notice Mike's no dummy. He's standing right beside that fan, Ronnie. Did you see him?
All right, another deep kickoff from Goen, and so the Cardinals will start from their 20 when we return.
When partying with your buds, be sure to choose a designated driver. It's the perfect pick-me-up. A message from your friends at Budweiser and O'Doul's. Great party.
Good night, little buddy. Ooh, almost forgot.
Collect Snickers, wrappers, and watch TV September 20th. If you've got the Shop Zone MVP, you've got $2 million.
This is the Midas Gold Muffler. It comes with a Midas lifetime warranty, and it's now just $49.95, $69.95 for select imports. Let's review. Midas Gold Muffler, lifetime warranty, $49.95. Hurry, the price of gold has never been lower.
Let me tell you a little love story. Happened at this wedding. Groom's buddies all sneak out and do the usual number on the groom's car, right? There it was, the most perfect black Ford Mustang known to man. So right when Mr. Shaving Cream's about to pull the trigger...
I can't do it, man. What? Just can't do it.
I mean, it's a Mustang. It'd be like defacing a national monument or something. Ford Mustang, built to last.
Need some ideas for your Labor Day weekend? Let's drink! Spend it in the 70s.
What is it with you young people in Colombo?
That 70s show tonight after The Simpsons on Fox.
Next week, a big game, Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, 2 NFC Central rivals clash. The Buccaneers take on the Packers. Then, a battle for the ages. The Cowboys' Big Three lines up against Elway and the Broncos. Coverage at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings. Plummer on first down. And not quite ready for that ball was Frank Sanders. And again, pressure on Plummer. He was sacked 8 times the last time these two teams met a year ago. But of course, they have some new frontliners. They've got a new offense from Mark Trestman. He had such a strong preseason, but the Cowboys have kept the pressure on today.
You know, one of the things that you talk to all the Cardinals about, and they say, Ronnie, that, hey, if we can get up early, we can move down the field and orchestrate our offense and get up early, we can have a great day. But what I think, in essence, they're saying is they don't want to be in this situation they're at now, come from behind.
2nd and 10, this is Morrell. Morrell tackle, nowhere to go in this second unit of the Dallas defense doing the job. That was Stoutmire. He's a starter at safety, but he was joined by Hervin McCormick.
Yeah, and when
number 99.
You see Stoutmire coming up on his play right here, you'll see him right here. And the thing that you see right here is a guy that doesn't have to worry about the corners because he knows he's got 2 corners that can play man-to-man. And I love when I see face-on-face like that. That just gets me so excited.
Why are we not surprised that is your most thrilling moment? 3rd down and 7. Plummer intended for Rob Moore, and it is incomplete. Darren Woodson, the safety, may have got a hand on that ball.
The Cowboys defense is in a position now where they can just fly to the ball. Watch the break by Woodson. Sitting down in the zone, watching, looking for the cross the middle, and then he sees where Jake's going, and he breaks on the ball.
And now you got the momentum with Dion sitting back there. trying to make something happen. In prime time, I think we can see something big right here.
He looks like he's ready for something big.
Sanders over the 30, brought down at the 37-yard line. Mark Maddox, reserve linebacker, made the tackle. 51-yard punt, a 12-yard return. We'll be right back. Well, there are the Cows, and here are the boys. And they are the men right now. 21-3 lead, 5:59 remaining third quarter. Aikman, who had lots of time spent being pummeled last season, has not been sacked so far in this game. Opening game of the 1998 NFL season against the Arizona Cardinals. Emmitt Smith gets about 3. Aikman 17 of 25. He's got a touchdown pass to Ernie Mills, and he has rushed for 2 short touchdowns himself.
You know, Tim, you talked about it, offensive line. That's one area. Jerry Jones came over and he talked to us all. He walked right in the first day we were here, and he said, you know, that's one area that he felt that it was on his shoulders. Last year, he didn't have enough depth there. You know, you go there, you find replacements, you lose 2-8. He's like old Mother Hubbard. He went to the cupboard and it was bare. There was nobody there, and it cost them last year, and he blamed the 6-10 season on that.
Aikman and company 2nd and 8, and a good hole up the middle. Smith gets out to about the 46, 47-yard line. Well, they're going to spot it back about the 43. And that is Patrick Sept who made the tackle, number 55, a reserve linebacker. 5 new Cardinals come on the field. Both teams are starting to alternate more frequently. Look at the offensive line.
You don't think those guys are doing a job?
Yeah.
4.3 yards a rush, no sacks. You know, the guys that have really impressed me are the 3 guys in the middle, because that's what everybody said the Cowboys don't have. They think they're weak in the middle. Shivers played well today.
Aikman wants to throw on 3rd down. It's complete to Irvin, and it's a first down. And E.S. Williams made the tackle, but not before Irvin got the yardage. Oh.
Yeah, and you got to look at Michael Irvin, and you see Michael Irvin. He said that he's going to move around the football field this year. He's not going to be lined up in the X spot. He's not going to be lined up there.
Today, he's got 2 catches there.
And when you see him, he's over here playing the Z. He's got 2 catches there. He's been on the inside, the slot receiver. That's why he lost some weight. He has 1 catch there. And on the slot receiver on the other side, 1 catch. He even said that he lined up in the backfield, and he talked about that he might have a chance to run the ball sometimes.
106 yards for Irvin on 7 catches.
You know,
Smith this time is stuffed.
We talked to him. You saw that 0 at the running back spot. And he said, he talked to Chan Gailey. He said, hey, Chan, he says, if I get the ball, does it go towards my stats as a reception?
That's Flozell Adams down, holding his left knee. The rookie has been getting quite a bit of time here today. Their number 2 pick from Michigan State.
Mark Smith down as well.
Mark Smith, the defensive tackle, slow to get up for Arizona. Both sets of trainers out there.
Yeah, Flozell Adams has been a big surprise, and he's been everything that they said that he could be. He's been able to play tight end. They've moved him around, and this would be a big loss for them because he helps their running game.
Well, and this is exactly what you talked about, Bill Maas, the depth that they were looking for. They drafted him.
Watch that right knee. There it is.
So Jerry Jones may be facing the same problem. Let's hope that doesn't happen for Flozell Adams.
If any sign, that's as good as you can get, because normally when it's a real bad knee, they got that wagon out there.
Yep.
That's right.
Second round pick from Michigan State. They have such high hopes for him. Chan Gailey got him into this game from the get-go. He came in as an extra tight end for power blocking early. Then he's been getting regular time at the right tackle position for Eric Williams. Got much of the first half, actually. So it's Cowboy ball right at midfield, 2nd and 10, and they lead.
And they moved MacGyver. They moved MacGyver out to tackle, and they brought in Mike Kiselak at guard. This is Kiselak, and here's MacGyver.
We've had no report on Eric Williams, but I don't believe he has returned since that little altercation he had back in the first half. There was no physical damage done. Just a lot of jawing. And that was Emmitt Smith stopped by Tommy Bennett after a gain of close to 3.
Well, right here, they got a chance to really put this game in jeopardy. I mean, it looks like Arizona, you feel the room, you feel in the air right now, and you can kind of smell it. You can kind of smell that the fact that they might be giving up a little bit. You hope that they're not doing that, but their defense has to come up with a big play right now, Bill.
Well, they need a spark, and they haven't had a spark all day. They haven't had it from their special teams, their offense, or their defense.
3rd down and 7, Cowboys. Aikman in the shotgun. Interception.
There's the spark.
Bennett inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. They'll spot him down at the 29 of Dallas. Good field position here for Jake Plummer and company to try and turn it around. A 29-yard return of a deflected pass. And Tommy Bennett, the 3rd-year man from UCLA, came up with it.
Watch the timing on this, Ronnie. I mean, that looks like he timed this thing perfect.
Did an excellent job, but he stayed with the ball right there, Bill. And he's playing the safety spot. He came up and he's like lurking in the middle of the field. That's what you call that, where you just kind of lurk around and you try to find where that Michael Irvin's going to be. And he found Michael Irvin. He was able to slide up underneath him.
You used to lurk around a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, lurking is. I still lurk a little bit. I like lurking with you.
That's complete to Frank Sanders on 1st down. He gets close to 7.
You know something, man? Not only do I like lurking with you, but that hardcore lurking's not bad either.
Well, we like that hardcore lurking. You know, you teach me how to lurk, and I'll teach you how to flop.
Okay.
I mean, that'll be the trade-off all year long.
Okay.
I'm a flopper. I like flopping couches, chairs. You know, get in there and flop around, and then you can teach me how to lurk.
And I'll show you how to lurk on the bench and maybe lurk around. the hoops court. The locker room, but the hoops court. You know. I mean, well, Tim Ryan's already trying to get you
to take me on the tennis court.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We've got another injury out there on the Cowboy side of the ball, and it's Leon.
Here in the game, I mean, they were going punt for punt for punt for punt, then bang. All of a sudden, Deion Sanders breaks that punt return. That gave Dallas a spark, and that really jumped everybody up, and everybody seemed to get moving after that. And Arizona hasn't had it. They haven't had anything going for them that's exciting. Maybe that Tommy Bennett interception will get them down there around a 20 in the red zone and get this team charged up.
Well, the West Coast offense, if you don't capitalize on turnovers, you might as well call it
the dead coast offense.
The dead coast offense.
2nd and long, 3, Arizona. 24-yard line of Dallas, play action. Plummer rolls right. He's got a man open. That's complete. McWilliams, the tight end. 3-year man out of USC. Caught 9 passes in the preseason. They think he is a much improved player now, the starter. 18-yard gain. Well, now let's take you to St. Louis. Joe Buck and Mark McGuire.
We would certainly like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, who used to call this ballpark home. This place is packed with close to 48,000 people hoping to catch McGuire, catch a pitch from Hudek, and tie Roger Maris with his 61st home run of the year. The Cardinals have just taken a 3-2 lead here in the 8th. Ball 1 from Hudek. These two faced one another here yesterday, and Hudek struck out McGuire. High heat. 1-1.
Struck out Mark McGuire with that same pitch, a letter-high fastball.
The 1-1 pitch. Back up. And the count now 1-2.
I think we're seeing a pattern develop here. John Hudek apparently has found the hole in McGuire's swing up above the top of the strike zone.
Too far up, 2-2.
He's up there one more time. One more rung.
A leadoff triple by DeShields, a sac fly by Jordan. Everybody relieved as the Reds had no Legitimate opportunity to intentionally pass McGuire, and we await the 2-2 pitch from Hudak. Up the middle, diving stop by Boone, and the flip to first for the out. That's the second baseman on the other side of the second base bag who made the dive to his left to take a hit.
On the top of your screen, diving in, he had to run a long way, dove to the pylon. That's all he had to do, and he has scored for Arizona. So perhaps one Cardinal can inspire another here today, as the Arizona Cardinals are now back in this football game.
No, Dallas Cowboys fans are booing, but they can boo all they want, because what it is, Ronnie, as you know, it's the ball breaking the plane. All that ball has to do is hit the front part of the white line of that end zone, and it's a touchdown.
One-yard score for Plummer, and we have a new football game here at 21-10, and still a full quarter to go. 29 seconds left in the. Eric Williams obviously all right, as is Eric Swan. Two key players out of the ball game early in what appeared to be not a big deal, but of course we didn't see all of the play. It occurred off the ball.
Well, when they made the call, though, all they said was personal foul, unnecessary roughness. They did not eject the player.
That's correct. Kevin Mathis does not bring it out, and so Dallas will start from the 20-yard line. That's correct. We did see the double foul. It was so reported by the referee Mike Carey, but nothing further than that at the time. But it's important to note that both of those players are obviously still healthy, because they didn't hurt each other in their pushing and shoving tussle.
Well, you know, you have Eric Williams gone, and then Flozell Adams is hurt, and actually Dallas right now is down to one backup reserve offensive lineman. That's Dale Hellestrae.
Yeah,
That's right.
But you know, the problem that I see there is that I think the league is making a stand. They're going to say right now, Bill, we're not going to have any fights. We're not going to have any problems like this.
We're not going to have fights. Come on up here.
Oh, I thought I was going to lurk around with you,
man. I'm going to have to be Mills Lane before the season's over.
Flozell
Adams has come back in at right tackle, and now that is great news for the Cowboys fans. Long pass downfield, a flag thrown, and Michael Irvin, the intended receiver. Williams, Aeneas Williams and Irvin battling it, maybe against Irvin.
And they've been battling all day.
This one could be offensive interference.
Here's the matchup here.
Watch this play right now. Let's see where Michael Irvin goes out of bounds. If he goes out of bounds, no, he doesn't go out of bounds. Right there, he goes out of bounds. But the referee now, was he out of bounds before the referee threw the flag?
On the defense, number 35. 5-yard penalty. Automatic.
They called it against Williams. They called it against Aeneas Williams.
Well, that's one area of the rules that were changed this year. The new rules that were changed, one of them was they are going to really be strict about the contact by corners past 5 yards. Now, you saw them downfield as they were going down the sidelines. There was a lot of the stuff on the hands to each other's chest. Okay, that used to be incidental contact. That's not anymore.
Well, having said that,
I know, and I'm sitting there going, Bill, wait a minute. You're a defensive guy, man. Come on.
Hey, I'm just telling you how the referees are calling it. I mean, do I disagree with it? I mean, yeah, but I'm just telling you what they're calling now.
All right, on first down, Emmitt Smith, not much. Got a couple pushed out. On our replay, I would have thought that it was Irvin who was doing the grabbing on Williams, but there you go. They are watching it tougher against the defensive backs.
Yeah, they are watching it tougher this year.
Point of emphasis, they call it. And that'll leave a 2nd and 8 for the Dallas Cowboys as we wind down here to the end of the third quarter, and the Dallas Cowboys with their veteran players, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman and company. Aikman has run for 2 touchdowns, and he has had a big day passing, and here he goes again. On second down, he's got a man open, Irvin. He's been his big man catching the ball. He's over 100 yards receiving. Aikman is now 19 of 28. and an 18-yard total added to his passing yardage today.
Well, call it what you want, whatever you want, but to me it looks like same old, Ronnie.
Yeah, it does look like same old, and Michael Irvin is just putting on a show today. You know, he talked about how he wanted to have redemption. He was afraid of the Grim Reaper coming after him and possibly taking him off this team. He said the biggest motivating factor is fear.
Emmitt Smith, not much room in the middle for him, got a yard or two.
Fear of failure. And he said that last year we failed. He says if you're supposed to be a 6-10 team and you're 6-10, then you didn't fail. But he says we weren't supposed to be. And we were 6-10, so we failed. And he says that's really been the motivation for all of the guys that we talked about. Emmitt, Troy, Michael, I mean, they want to come out and prove. Nate, some of the guys that have been around, they want to come out and prove that, yeah, last year, you know, it was just a fluke. That we're still here and we're still the Cowboys.
Irvin, 8 catches, 124 yards. Aikman play action, rolling right. Gets the ball up before he goes out of bounds, and it's caught in bounds. Nice catch by Billy Davis, and there's Troy Aikman going right over the bench.
Under it.
Well under, yes.
He went under and came up the other side. He's climbing over. He came up out of the bench, looked like a groundhog coming out of there. Did you see him come out of the bench?
That was foreign territory over at the Cardinals bench.
Yeah, but, you know, look at this play right here. I mean, he's got the composure. One of the things that they wanted to do this year was to have a moving pocket. They want to try to get him out of the pocket, move him around some. People said that Troy Aikman can't move. Right there, it looks like he can move and he can slide under a bench.
And he's got a first down. He gives it to Smith. He's got running room. Best hole of the day for Emmitt Smith. Pat Tillman finally tripped him up, but it's another Cowboy first down.
Yeah, and that play right there, Emmitt said, look, Ronnie, it's going to be tough on me. I know that I'm not going to be able to break it, but it's going to take some time. I'm just going to stick with it. I'm just going to stay with it. And that's what he did right there. You can see him stretching out the play right here.
Timing. Watch him stretch it out here and wait for the hole to open right there between tackle and guard. And that's timing. You know, you mentioned to me, you said, you know, I remember watching you play. You just take the ball and fly right up into the line of scrimmage. He says, now you look a little bit more reserved, and it is. He's waiting in the backfield for the time to open.
He enjoyed the replay on that one, too. You saw his eyes looking up at the big screen here at Texas Stadium. This time he gets about 3 more. But the whole different blocking scheme for him, requiring him to be a little more patient, slide, shuffle, look for the hole, and then go, rather than just making that initial burst. And he's enjoying the learning experience.
Well, he said the one thing that he learned from Clarence Shellman is how and when to cut. He said, I was making my cut in the backfield when I was younger, and then the defense's guys would close in on it. He said they gave them time. Now I wait till I get up into the line to make my cut.
2nd and 8, Dallas in control here. Driving again, and look at that catch there by Nicky Sualua. And he didn't have control of the ball. He had it on his hip, but when he got hit, the ball came loose. Nicky Sualua, the backup fullback to Darryl Johnston, their 4th pick last year out of Ohio State.
Yeah, and Emmitt, right there, you can see him taking a breather, but one of the things that they were counting on was Chris Warren. Chris Warren is the back that they brought in from Seattle. Got hurt in training camp, but Chris Warren would have also been the 3rd down back. He would have been in this situation right here.
4 wide receivers now for the Cowboys on 3rd down, and there's still a second on the clock.
Now Cardinals take a timeout here. They were confusing coverage, and Aeneas Williams looked to the side and called timeout.
So a Cardinals timeout with 11:57 remaining in regulation time on this.
And by the U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin.
Tim Ryan with Bill Maas and Ronnie Lott here at Texas Stadium. Andre Wadsworth been getting a fair amount of time here in his first game. No training camp, off the plane into uniform. Signed last night. And he was just sucking air there during the timeout. It is over 100 degrees. It has been all day. Aikman from the shotgun on 3rd down. Takes off running. There's a flag downfield, and he goes out of bounds unscathed at the 10. There was a flag downfield early in the play. 17-yard run by Aikman, who's done about everything you could ask today. He's passed for a touchdown. He's run for 2. He's taken off running 2 or 3 times in the game.
Who they get? Do they get Aeneas over there?
A penalty downfield against the Cardinals.
Yeah, you know the thing about Troy Aikman that,
that
everybody said going into this game,
26.
Dave Campbell said it,
penalty.
Jerry Jones said it. They
First
said,
down.
we can go as far as number 8. If number 8 can get the job done leading this new Chan Gailey offense, if number 8 can do all the things that he's done in the past, and he's showing that today. I mean, the one thing that you got to say that his heart right now is out there. He is doing everything that he possibly can. He's running with the football. He's making the great throws. His arm is alive. He's doing a lot of things, Bill.
A lot of responsibilities, too. He has the responsibility now of calling the play protection up in the line of scrimmage. He's in full control of audible. He didn't get the play in fast enough. Did you see before he was pointing to his head, saying, to his ears, saying, come on, come on, come on. Didn't get the play charge in quick enough and was disappointed. But the one thing he is doing, he says, I like having the chess game in my hands. I like to be the one matching brains with a defensive coordinator.
Against J.B. Brown after the 17-yard gain by Aikman has the Cowboys 1st and goal at the 5-yard line of Arizona. Aikman, who has rushed now 5 times for 40 yards, including a couple of touchdowns. Got some tired Cardinals out there in this heat. This defense has been on the field a lot. Emmitt Smith is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Loss on the play of maybe 2. Patrick Sept got in there to make the hit.
Well, you know, you talk about the defense, and you know, there's 11 minutes left to go in the game virtually, and there have already been on the field 61 plays. Look at it, there you have it. So Arizona defense has been out there 61 plays. So you're looking at possibly 75 to 80 plays, Ronnie, for the course of a game. And as you know, anytime you're in a game that long on defense, it takes it out of you, let alone in a game with this heat.
Wadsworth comes back in along with Swinger. Big pass is caught. Is it in the end zone?
Sure is.
Touchdown.
How about that fresh move right there? What was that?
Whoa, whoa. Whoa! He's been waiting. He's been practicing on that.
You're saying whoa, I'm saying ow.
He's been practicing on that for all off season, and finally, the first game, he gets to do it.
That's his first career TD.
First career TD.
Billy Davis.
He might have been practicing longer than all summer. He might have been practicing that for 3 years.
Free agent out of the University of Pittsburgh. Cunningham for the point after. Davis becoming the starter this year.
You're going to see the little drop back pass here. Watch, it's a fade pattern to the top, and he gets nice separation, well thrown.
And right there, when you look at that play as a defensive back, you'll see Billy Davis right now. Now the defensive back has to play through the body, or he's got to find the ball. What he does there, he doesn't look back to the receiver. You take your eyes off the receiver, you got to get back, you got to find the receiver, then you got to play through him. If you don't play through him, you will not be able to make this play. And right there, Troy Aikman, sweet pass, sweet throw, and a sweet split.
Split spike at the same time. That was pretty good. Now, you know, he's from my alma mater, and, you know, University of Pittsburgh's put out some fine football players, Tim Ryan. As has yours of Notre Dame. I know a big win yesterday, but we condone touchdowns, Billy, but I can't condone the hairdo, man. I can't. That's not a Pitt hairdo.
No, that's not a Pitt hairdo. But I do have to say this. Troy said, hey, you got to love the kid. Yeah, he came in with his hair dyed red one morning, and we said, Billy, don't worry about it. I still will throw the ball to you.
Fun-loving guy with some talent, earned his starting spot this year alongside Michael Irvin. Going blasts another one. Deep in the end zone. Metcalf, no chance to bring it out again. So they'll start from their 20-yard line. And now down 28-10. Well, tonight, after an all-new World's Funniest, it's an all-new Holding the Baby. Then a can't-miss Simpsons and the smash hit That 70s Show, followed by the X-Files, all tonight at 7, 6 Central on Fox.
Yeah, Bill, that 70s show, that was a 70s move, wasn't it? The split.
You'd know, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I forgot. I did have that fro back then.
First down at the 20-yard line for the Cardinals. They go to the shotgun. Jake Plummer got to make miracles happen here. 10:45 to go. Pumps once, then again, finds a man. That's Sanders, Frank Sanders for the first down. 32-yard line.
I think what Arizona's going to do at this time, it gives them a chance to try to use their no-huddle offense. It gives them a chance to work on some of the things that they need to work on down the road. Yeah, Mark Trestman's going to get these guys moving. He's going to try to control the game. He doesn't need to get a big play, but move the chains right now. Move the chains.
You know, the one thing I didn't see utilized as much as I thought I would today is I thought I'd see a lot more out of the short stuff with the tight end and more to the flat with centers.
Plummer intended for Metcalf, and he couldn't hold on as he was smacked by Stoutmire, the safety 24.
Yeah, Bill, I agree with you. I thought the centers, with the numbers that he's had, a guy that is a football player like Dave Campo, he says, I would like to have him on my team. You know, I would like to have him running the football. He's one of the toughest guys on the field, and for him not to have the ball in his hands, I think it's a crime, especially in this West Coast offense.
Well, you know, in 1995 and 96, both years, he had over 100 receptions as a fullback. And he's just not getting the ball today.
2nd and 10, Plummer, and that's complete. That center's right there. They gave it to him that time, and he has swarmed under. Look at him battle.
Oh, he'll fight you to the end. And the ball is going to be at its most forward movement. But, you know, Larry Centers could have gone down, but he's going to keep fighting even if he goes 5 yards back with 4 down Cowboys on him.
He only got about a yard after all that effort. Well, now they're going to give him a little better forward progress. Let's call it a little better than a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 8.
You see the numbers there. And then last year, they dropped down in receptions. Those are all receptions. And they dropped down. And when you have him as a weapon in the backfield, Ronnie, you can attest to it. I mean, the fullbacks you played with in San Francisco.
Yeah, and the thing about those fullbacks, they caught the ball. They would throw the ball to him.
It looked like movement along the front of the Arizona offensive line. James Dexter or Chris Gedney, one or the other or both out the right side.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 75, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Well, they got the left side. They probably could have called about 3 guys there. Lomas just maybe started it.
Yeah, we talked about Rob Moore being the Jerry Rice. Well, centers can be the Tom Rathman. And I think that you got to get the ball in his hands, and you got to utilize his skills.
And they need McWilliams to be the Brent Jones.
3rd and 13. 27 in Arizona. Plummer can't find an open man.
Look
now
downfield.
He pumps and he's going for Metcalf. A flag is down. Metcalf has the ball to Dallas territory at the 37. 2 flags down. 1 downfield, 1 back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think we had a lineman go down beyond the line of scrimmage.
Downfield. When he saw Jake start scrambling, they took off downfield to block. And that may nullify if there's a pass interference down here. Illegal man downfield. That's the call. And pass interference. Yep, that's going to nullify. Pass interference now is going to be nullified against George Teague. Here's Teague, 31. Right in here. He matches up on Metcalf. And as Metcalf starts downfield, when he sees Jake scramble, he gets his hands on.
Eligible receiver downfield on the offense, number 67. And illegal contact on the defense, number 21. Those fouls offset. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, it was George Teague, 31. It wasn't Deion Sanders. And on offense, illegal man downfield, that was Chris Dishman. You know, your quarterback starts scrambling around and comes out of the pocket. You know, it's hard to know where he's at, a scrambling quarterback, when he's behind you. You never know where he's at. And actually, for an offensive lineman, it makes protection hard. So if he sees Jake start scrambling, then you want to get out in front of him and help block somebody. And he passed the ball, and it was illegal man downfield.
So third down repeated. For Morrell, a little behind him, he couldn't hold on. And he takes a hit from Kevin Mathis. So the Arizona offense just been outmatched by the Dallas defense today overall in this football game.
Yeah, Dave Campo's done an outstanding job today of changing things up and giving different variations of zone and man coverage to confuse Plummer just enough. And the confusion you can see in his throws, because everything isn't crisp and everything isn't right where it's supposed to be.
And you can't win football games going 0 for 9 on third downs, Bill. You cannot win games that way.
And that's what Arizona is.
That's their 8th punt. Sanders takes it at the 20-yard line with a fair catch. And so the Cowboys in the driver's seat. 8:30 to go. They have the ball and the lead 28-10. Injuries, Sehorn and Miller, but they had a good win today over Washington. Philadelphia got waxed. What do you think, boys? Arizona, Dallas on the rise?
Well, Dallas looks like they've corrected any doubt that may have entered their mind last year, Ronnie.
Yeah, but you know what I like is that Chan Gailey, who talked to us, said, Ronnie, Bill, Tim, look, guys, if we win this game, yeah, so what? I got a game plan. I know where I want to go. I know that this offense needs more reps. We're not running this offense efficiently enough. And to me, it made a statement. Here's a guy that's thinking down the road. He's looking down the road. He talked to us about Landry and how Landry kept his composure. I mean, he talked about Dan Reeves. He mentioned some of the great coaches and great players of the Cowboys, and I think that's what he's trying to do right now. He's just trying to make sure that he's consistent and persistent.
Well, I think the biggest change for the Cowboys isn't necessarily the offense. Again, the guys are here, and you're going to make some changes and wrinkles, and I saw some creative things. But I think the biggest change really is that the Cowboys now have direction. With Chan Gailey, they have direction. And I think that's what they were lacking the prior years. Right, let me say the prior 2.5 years.
Well, the players all reflect that kind of thinking in conversations with him. He's impressed them in training camp, even though here's a team that went 0-5 in the preseason. He didn't even mention that. In fact, he was reluctant to comment on what he thought of his team when I asked him that question. He just didn't really want to think about that now. He said, I got to see them in action. After all, we haven't been in action. He didn't count the preseason. He was getting his team ready to play today. He said, we can give you a better impression after our first game and a little farther down the road.
And I think that's what he means by that. Look, I'm not worried about today. I'm worried about how we're going to look week 9, week 10. And he knows that this team needs to come a long ways from where they were in training camp.
First down at the 20-yard line. Cowboys, this is Darryl Johnston.
You know, one of the things that he said in his new offense, he said, in the offense, this is what we want to do. We want to move the downs. And, you know, right away I thought, well, he's talking about first down markers. Yeah, I said, no, I want to move the downs. And the downs are the down linemen. In his running game philosophy, he wants to move the big people. He said, let the linebackers and safety, let them run all over the place, do whatever the heck they want. We want to get movement on the big guys down.
2nd and 5. Pitch to Smith. They moved a few guys up front, but they got a good defensive play from Simeon Rice that time, ranging out untouched to pull down Emmitt Smith.
And when you move the big guys, I mean, Nate Newton's been moving big guys for years. Watch him right here on Mark Smith. Here's the reach block, and he gets the push. Watch the push. That's push. That's a win. That's pushing off the line of scrimmage and creating that angle.
But what you need from there is you need not only Nate Newton to do that, but on that play, Dave LaFleur, he cannot do that.
You know, he's got an interesting thing about him. Everybody talks about him, what a great blocker he is. I mean, I don't see that great blocker in him, and I haven't seen it.
Swinger and Wadsworth in on 3rd and 5 on the Arizona front.
Nice play, Aeneas Williams. He wasn't fooled on that screenplay.
Yeah, that's Aeneas Williams. I mean, that's why he's a Pro Bowl player. He was able to read that play. He was able to get right in there, and that's what you like. You like to see that, and I think he might have twisted his ankle on his play, but you see Aeneas right here. He's looking back on the inside. He sees a little motion. He knows, hey, there might be something going. He reads the quarterback. You get up in there, and you grab that leg, and you hold on.
That's sniffing it out.
Yeah,
you know? You see something funny in that motion, then you see the offensive tackle way out there where he's not supposed to be.
I used to like to sniff things out, Bill.
But Irvin's been giving him fits all day long, and Williams gets up slowly just as they were about to start the next play. Somehow hurt his ankle or foot on the last play, the tackle he made on Irvin.
And they cannot afford to lose him. Tommy Knight got injured early on. Now Aeneas Williams, who is the leader of that group. I mean, here's a guy that has done an excellent job teaching these guys. He sat down with Pat Tillman. He's worked with Tommy Bennett. He's worked with Knight. They can't afford to lose this guy because he's really the leader and really the soul of this defense.
That brings up 4th down. Cardinals will have the ball offensively again. 6:33 to go regulation time. Toby going, standing at his 7-yard line. Back deep at the 35 is Eric Metcalf. Another good kick from going and backing up Metcalf, trying to make something happen. He gets out at about the 32-yard line, and the Cardinals will start there. 50-yard punt from going, a 4-yard return from Metcalf. Cowboys lead 28.
We just got talking, started saying to one another how much, we appreciate and enjoyed one another over the past 8-9 years that we've been together, the things we've accomplished, the friendship that's grown out of the things that we've accomplished on the football field and the friendship that we have off the football field. It's just been a blessing.
And they hope to draw on that to bounce back from a 6-10 season, and the veterans today off to a great start for the Dallas Cowboys. Plummer, the young quarterback, getting a real baptism here, starting a new season. Out to Larry Centers, and he has a 1st down for Arizona. Remember, Jake Plummer started only 9 games last year, and he had such an incredible string with a not very talented team that high optimism continues for him despite this shaky start today. Emmitt Smith can take the rest of the afternoon off. And probably Troy Aikman. 5:57 remains. Plummer trying to get loose. Got just over the line of scrimmage, tripped up by Darren Woodson.
For Mark Trestman and the Arizona offense, I think he's got to go back and look and see what he has. I think he has to go back and see, maybe we wanted too much too soon, Ronnie. He talked to us about putting everything in at once. He says, I put the whole book in.
Plummer under pressure from Hennings, and he's short, trying to get it to Frank Sanders.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you there. I think they do have to go back, and I think what happens, though, is that you come into a game like this, you're excited. I think Jake got excited. I think that if you look at his play today, I know that especially that one play down there in the end zone where he had a chance to throw that ball and make a touchdown there. I'm almost positive that Jake Plummer, as well as Mark Trestman, they're going to walk away from this game looking and saying, we got to be more patient and we got to do the fundamentals. We got to stay within ourselves.
1 of 9 on 3rd down. Let's see what Plummer can produce here. Big pressure. Had to chuck it in a hurry.
And Dave Campo keeps confusing Jake Plummer.
That was Greg Ellis giving him a good run that time.
He's mixed it up on him defensively, Tim, Ronnie. I mean, Dave Campo said, hey, I've got to come at him with a variety of things. Now, I want you to watch the zone blitz here. They bring the safeties up, and then watch Kavika Pittman. He's going to drop back here into coverage. That's just disguising what you're actually getting, but it's enough to confuse Jake.
4th down, they're going for it. And his receiver is pulled down. No call apparent on the play. Incomplete.
What in the world?
Guess who was over there? Kevin Smith.
How can that possibly not be pass interference?
I cannot believe
Rob Moore, slow to get up and limping a bit. He's not complaining. He's just limping.
Are they saying the ball was thrown over his head? It was uncatchable?
Maybe.
How can that not be a flag?
I mean,
watch Rob Moore right here.
Right here. And look at this right here. I mean, yeah, you could.
I think their feet got tangled up, and that may have been accidental.
Yeah,
both fell
accidental.
down.
Yeah, I can tell you this, though. Had the heat been on and had this game not been out of control, the referees would have been all over that call, and I think that they would have made that call there. Unfortunately, because Larry Sanders as well as Jake Plummer, they got to believe that they need to get something like that. They want those calls, Bill.
Aikman gives it to Emmitt Smith. Both of the big guys still in the ball game for Dallas
that
here.
Puts him over about 100. That might put him right at 100.
First down, about 11, 12-yard pickup for Emmitt Smith.
And you look at the numbers. You know, you think statistically, what do you want to have? You know, you want your quarterback to play well. You want your running back to have 100 yards rushing, and you want one of your receivers to get up there with their pass numbers.
Yeah, but when you look at this play right here, he is being patient. And if you look at all the numbers of all three guys, Bill, the one thing that I guess you could say tomorrow for Labor Day holiday, that these guys are they're going to have a good holiday tomorrow.
They deserve a day off, that's for sure. 97 yards rushing for Emmitt Smith. And he has it again.
You know, we talked about Emmitt Smith and when he makes his cut, Ronnie, remember he said before he used to make it in the backfield, and Clarence Shelton told him, you got to make it in the line of scrimmage. Watch. He waits actually up until he gets, watch where he is. He's up in here when he's cut. That's buying himself some time, and it's not allowing the defense to respond to what he's doing.
Yeah, and you know, it was funny because when he first got into this offense, one thing he said, he
struggled.
Hey, I struggled, man. I started to doubt myself, and the reason I was doubting myself because I felt like I could do everything, but I wasn't making any plays.
He got the first down. They gave him only 9 on first down. And Emmitt Smith again crashing off right tackle this time. Took a pretty good lick.
With Moose leading the way.
And he has a gain of about 6 yards on that one. Jameer Miller made the hard tackle on him. 26 carries, 106 yards for Emmitt Smith.
You know, you talk about the big three, and really, you got to bring this guy back into it. You have to talk about Moose, too. He's every bit a part of the success of any running play there is. There he is, gets a piece of Tillman, just enough to push him back. But, hey, you know, you're talking about a 7-yard pickup, Ronnie. And what a remarkable comeback he's made from the neck injury.
Yeah, he has made a great comeback from that. And you talk to Chan, and Chan says he's not going to get beat up as much because we're going to have him trying to find linebackers instead of just running in there, ramming into people.
Tell you what, Emmitt Smith's having some fun. He just picked up another first down inside right to the 20-yard line. They spot the ball. And
a couple interesting things, Tim. He said, remember Troy Aikman, we sat down and talked to him, he said, you know, it used to be, you know, we get real excited for the big games, Green Bay, San Francisco. He said, now when you're 6-10, you have to get excited about every game. And when you think about it, this game, the 6-10 Cowboys are playing the 4-12 Cardinals. I mean, who would have thought that ever would have transpired with Dallas?
Now there's a perfect example of what Emmitt Smith was talking about. He waited, and it opened up for him. And he has another first down. He's down to the 7. Great piece of running by Emmitt Smith.
Ronnie, I can tell you this. If the Dallas Cowboys came into this game at a crossroad, they went through that, and they laid a highway right through that crossroad, and they are on it.
Yeah, and the reason they're on is that you got to look at the offensive line. Jerry came in and said, look, yeah, I had to address it, but look at the big boy right there, Mozell Adams. I mean, that guy right there is going to be the future.
The first down. Sherman Williams. Williams trying to get wide. Gets too close to the 6-yard line. We have 1:54 to go. And immediately following football, you'll see these programs, except on the West Coast. 7 p.m. World's Funniest, followed by Holding the Baby. 8 p.m. The Simpsons, followed by That 70s Show, and then the X-Files at 9 p.m. 28-10. Dallas beating up on the Cardinals here on this opening weekend. An impressive performance before a sellout crowd here at Texas Stadium to open the season. Sherman Williams straightened up at about the 4-yard line. McKinnon, the linebacker, number 57, and Andre Wadsworth.
Tim, right now the Cowboys collectively have about 180 yards rushing. The last time they did that was November '96. They had a 200-yard day.
Well, you know what's exciting for me is that next week they go to Denver. And going to Denver next week, Bill, it will also give them a chance to find out where they're really at.
3rd and goal on the 3. Williams, not much there. The Cardinals front battling here, not wanting to give up any more points. Under a minute we go, counting down to 56.
Ronnie, you know, it's interesting you talk about that. Don't think for one second that Chan Gailey isn't looking in his mind to go up to Denver. Don't forget, remember the AFC Championship game? He had a match wits against Mike Shanahan, and that game went down to the wire there. I mean, that's a game he wants another shot at.
So they send on the field goal unit here. At the time, counting down to 30 seconds. Cunningham on board, ready to attempt the field goal here, and the Cowboys can feel good about this opening day effort for sure. For Arizona, Vince Tobin's got to go back and say, well, maybe we got a little overexcited. These youngsters, Jake Plummer, the euphoria about Andre Wadsworth signing and getting into uniform today. They got some work to do back there in the desert, but it's clearly a much improved team from a year ago, and they've just got to build off this.
Well, you know, they got all the pieces in place, like I said. Now, you didn't see it today, no, but the upside of the whole thing is, Ronnie, you know,
on the offense, it's 5 yards, still 4th down.
Delay a game. It's a lot of young guys. I mean, you look at this team, it's a lot of young guys for Arizona. Plus, let's not forget, remember the trade, okay? They gave up the number 2 spot in the draft to San Diego, and they've got a bunch of draft choices coming for that. They got Eric Metcalf over. He's going to help them out through the course of the year. They felt good enough about Jake Plummer that they didn't need that spot. They didn't need a franchise quarterback. Now they're going to have, they got players, they have more draft choices next year, and they got a young team with a great nucleus.
25-yard field goal attempt for Cunningham. And it's good. Cunningham was pretty much routine a year ago, 34-37. And Chan Gailey gets his first of what I'm sure he hopes will be many more of those dunkings.
Darren Woodson drowned him with the Gatorade bucket.
First as a head coach in the National Football League, first here in Dallas, following Barry Switzer, Jimmy Johnson before him, and of course the legendary Tom Landry. And Chan Gailey can smile freely, know that he and his coaching staff, despite their 0-5 preseason, knew what they were up to, preparing for the real stuff today here against the Arizona Cardinals. 31-10 the score. 19 seconds remaining.
You know, the tough thing, like I said before earlier, Ronnie, you know, 6 months you'll wait. 6 months in the offseason you'll wait for one game for the start. And it's so tough to start the season out with a loss. You know, somebody's going to have to lose every game today, but it's so hard to start. And for the Arizona Cardinals, they haven't won a home opening game, and every time they started off with a home loss or opening season loss, they've been sure to go nowhere.
Yeah, it's tough, Bill. And I remember going back to my rookie year, because at that time we lost our first game, and somehow we started mustering it up, and the offense started to click, and this guy by the name of Montana, who everybody's saying that Jake's a lot alike, he started to come into his own. So I'm not ready to give up on this football team. This offense is going to get better.
Metcalf dropped the ball.
And I'm not ready to give up on the Cowboys either.
Did you see that stick?
That was Hemsley, the linebacker, and the loose ball picked up by the Cowboys. Run into the end zone, Kenny Wheaton, reserve defensive back. With just 11 seconds on the clock.
Hemsley just lit up. Watch right here. Watch this play. Hemsley just lights up Eric Metcalf, and that ball pops out. And there's Wheaton.
So a freebie for Kenny Wheaton. Wheaton was in the battle for the safety spot with Omar Stoutmire. Stoutmire selected by the staff to start, and you can see, Vince Tobin, like, what else can happen to us here to finish off this game today. Still 11 seconds to go. Cunningham on for the point after.
No, I do agree with you, Ronnie. I totally agree with you, Arizona. No, they can't even, nowhere near even thinking about giving up on that team. That team has a lot of upside.
15-yard touchdown off the fumble recovery return by Wheaton. And the Dallas Cowboys in a rout. 38-10, still 11 seconds to go. Now, do you give Metcalf another run back there, or do you put somebody else out this time? He's on the field. Lots more programming ahead here after our football is completed this afternoon on Fox. At 7:30 starts with Holding the Baby, and then The Simpsons and That 70s Show from 8 to 9. And at 9 o'clock, the X-Files, all ahead here on Fox.
Yeah, Bill, you know, I've sat here, I've sat next to you, I've sat next to Tim. You guys you brought me along this week. You showed me the ropes.
But the receiver stays with the route, so that's where the miscommunication comes from.
The Jets have gone to crossing patterns over the middle in times of trouble earlier in this game. Let's see what Foley does. Slips, penalty marker, over the middle, incomplete.
Could be in this heat all day here. Tell you what, I watched you last year several times, Moss. You look a little smaller than last year. You been dieting? Metcalf gets up to the 18-yard line and hangs on to that ball this time. He didn't get the same kind of hit.
Look at the sidelines of the Cowboys. Now, if you can reflect back to the end of last season, Emmitt Smith is up. He's out there. He was congratulating his offensive line. Look at this. Hugs for everybody. This is a different team. There's no question in my mind. Do you remember the last 5 games of last year, watching them at all? I mean, the sidelines was just a disaster. Nobody wanted to be there. No one wanted to be around the area. This is a different team, and a lot of rejuvenation felt today with what they have and where they want to take it.
And it's nice when you bring in a coach like Chan Gailey, who is really understated. He hasn't got caught up in the hoopla. He's been very, very patient. And for me, I like being around a guy like him.
Now that is it, the final play, an incomplete pass, and the Dallas Cowboys an impressive home opener, 38-10 over the Arizona Cardinals. For Ronnie Lott and Bill Moss, I'm Tim Ryan saying so long. Coming up, Kevin Frazier and Ron Pitts will get you caught up with everything.
It's going to make a lot of people happy winning that first game of the year.
Garrison Hurst, left side, across the 40-yard line. Jason Ferguson with the tackle for the Jets. Pickup of 4. We're looking at 2nd and 6.
Well, just by watching the kickoff, seeing how far it traveled, you'd have to think if the San Francisco 49ers get inside, if they get near the 30-yard line, they are definitely in field goal range.
Young, far side, intended for Edwards, incomplete. Now there's just a little bit of excitement on the 49ers side of the field too when it comes to Wade Ritchie. Ritchie is a rookie out of LSU. He kicked a 54-yarder in college, which is the longest field goal in LSU history, but he made just 8 of 25 in college.
You can get away with that in college. You couldn't do that in the pros. But they like it. George Stewart, the special teams coach, he thinks it was a few techniques he was doing wrong. They think the potential is great for him to be a kicker in the National Football League.
3rd and 6. For Jerry Rice. Incomplete, out of bounds. Aaron Glenn on Rice, and Rice didn't come down with it in bounds.
Well, Steve Young, he's the quarterback. He says, I got Aaron Glenn against Jerry Rice one-on-one down the sideline. Really excellent throw by Steve Young, but Jerry Rice cannot get both feet inbounds. Aaron Glenn right there. Jerry Rice can't get the second foot down, out of bounds. Good call.
Bill Parcells was all over Aaron Glenn trying to get him psyched up for this matchup with Jerry Rice, accusing him of having a little Jerry Rice flu all week. And Aaron told us, last week before the game against the Bears, it was the Curtis Conway flu.
That's right.
And the shot clock, the play clock expires.
Get that 5 yards, make it a little easier on the punter to try to get the ball inside the 20-yard line. And the wind's behind him. The one thing you do not want to do, and it looks like New York might. I thought for a second they might decline
it.
But coaches and players, you're on the sideline. The last thing you want the punter to do, then kick it out on the 20-yard line. Just at least make sure you don't fly it in the end zone in the air.
Leon Johnson is back for the Jets at his own 10. Howard kicks this one almost straight up. Johnson, fair catch at about the 21-yard line. Well, never mind that little visual up there. The Jets didn't just lose 3 points on that. We'll tell you tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, and then it's Touched by an Angel. And don't miss the CBS Sunday movie, It Could Happen to You, starring Nicolas Cage and Bridget Fonda today. 26 of 46.
I kind of thought it might be a wide open game, but I didn't quite expect like 900 some yards of offense. And somewhere in the game you thought, well, they'll settle down, get some running going, and keep the scoring down, but it's been wide open from the start.
Hurst with a hole up the middle and breaks free. 30. Midfield. The 20. The 10. Touchdown. 96 yards to win the game. What a difference in opening days for Steve Mariucci and the San Francisco 49ers. A year ago, they traveled to Tampa. They lose Jerry Rice. They lose Steve Young. They lose Kevin Green. And they lose the game.
This year, all offense, 36 points. Garrison Hurst, good job up front. You're backed up. The Jets think they got the 49ers right where they want them. Look at the blocking inside. Ray Brown with a good block. And then Garrison Hurst just does a good job of fighting off the tacklers. That's one. He has the speed. Good hustle. Anthony Pleasant, a defensive lineman down the field, breaks the second tackle. Mo Lewis chases him. Gets to him, but it's too late. Scores the touchdown. 96 yards, Garrison Hurst.
That is the longest run from scrimmage in the history of the San Francisco 49ers, and it wins on opening day here in 3Com Park.
And let me tell you, you're the quarterback in a situation like this. Well, you're running behind him the whole way, hoping Steve Young can't believe it. Hung in there all day long, made a good drive at the end of the game.
Yeah, the coach says, what a difference a year makes.
Oh, well, he said
Garrison Hurst goes 96 yards here in overtime to give the San Francisco 49ers a 36-30 win over the New York Jets. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. Then it's Touched by an Angel, and don't miss the CBS Sunday Night Movie.